Every year, over 100 million people go through passport control to get into Britain. Most are welcome and legal, many are not. For the first time on television, we go behind the scenes of the UK Border Agency, the men and women on the front line of immigration. Tonight, lorries carrying more than freight.
Hello, guys.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
16.
Cracking down on illegal workers in London.
I'm going to have to arrest you for entering the UK illegally.
Refusing entry at Heathrow.
Legally, we have to send you back on the first available flight.
They will kill me with the Indian government. They will kill both of us.
London's Heathrow handles more international arrivals than any other airport in the world. 50,000 passengers a day arrive at Terminal 3 alone.
Next, please. How long will you all be staying for? There you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Most have a legitimate reason to enter Britain.
Thank you, Madam.
Many are simply coming home.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And how are you today?
Good.
Could you just lift your hat from? I know what you look like. I just want to see
That's
you.
what I look like. You like it?
I do indeed.
Oh, thank you very much. I like the way you look.
Thank you very much. There you go, sir.
It's the job of the officers on the passport desk to spot those trying to get in illegally. Immigration officer Lisa Lee has been checking passports at Heathrow for the past 2 years. She's developed an eye for things which don't add up.
So when you came in January, how long did you stay?
2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
No, you didn't. You stayed longer than 2 weeks, sir. You were here 2 months. How come you're spending so much time here? You spend more time here than you do in Pakistan. Why?
No, I do working is the business only purpose.
All right, sir, I need you to take this piece of paper, please. I need to make some inquiries, OK? You need to take a seat over there.
Officer Lee suspects the passenger has been using visit visas to stay longer in Britain than he claims. Now she wants to dig a little deeper.
He says he's a business owner in Pakistan running a fruit and vegetable business, export business. But I don't see how he can be doing that when he's spending most of the time in the UK. So I'm just going to work out how much time he's actually been spending here since he got his first visa. 6 weeks he was home. I conclude from my investigations that this gentleman's living here. He's out of 30 months, he's spent 26 and a half months here. Of course, we don't know what he's actually doing while he's here, which is what we're going to attempt to find out. OK, sir. You come with me, please?
Yeah.
How many bags do you have with you? Just this one and one other?
Immigration officers have the powers to search luggage for evidence.
You said you didn't have any documents. What's this? OK, this is a notice from Company's House saying your accounts are due for your company. You're supposed to be a visitor in the UK. Why are you running a company here? Why have you got this?
No, it's company. My company.
It's your company? Yeah, it is, because it's registered here. Why would they have a detail of your company?
No.
OK. All right, so bags on the trolley, please. We're going to go back upstairs.
Upstairs is where the formal interview rooms are.
Please.
Officer Lee is now going on record, and her visitor has asked for the help of an interpreter.
When you are here, are you spending all your time marketing your business?
Yes.
Because I'm not satisfied that you're just visiting the UK. You haven't given me sufficient information, and I don't understand some of your answers.
Sufficient information
You're not giving me explanations as to why you need to fly here. The basis of what he's saying is that he's been here pretty much solidly since October 2005 to market his fruit and veg business that he runs in Pakistan. He's not had any orders from anyone in the UK for that whole time, and yet when asked why he's sending money back to Pakistan, he says it's for packaging and boxes, even though he's not actually sold anything to package or box. He must be doing something to earn money. I'm not satisfied about what you've been doing for 26 months because you can't explain. So how can I be satisfied of what you're going to do this time? There's a high likelihood that he's been told to stick to a simple story. We see it quite often. It's an unbelievable story, and yet if you stick to it, what can we do? And it's very probable that he's heard through the grapevine. Don't tell him anything, just keep quiet, don't try and include too many people in it, and if they can't prove anything, then you might be all right.
Officer Lee has heard and seen enough. For the final decision, she will consult her boss, the Chief Immigration Officer.
His sole purpose in coming to the UK is to market his business in the UK, not as a visitor.
Well, if that's what he's actually doing.
If that's what he's doing, but we haven't got evidence
singularly
otherwise. We don't have any pay slips or anything like that, or any NI numbers or anything like that to say he's working.
I think he clearly falls to be refused. I think we'll cancel it on the basis of it.
Okay, do a change of circumstances then, yeah.
Which will give him the right of appeal before removal if he chooses to exercise it, and that's fine.
Okay, the passenger is being refused entry, and he will go back to Pakistan. The earliest flight is tomorrow morning. So he's going to remain in our holding room overnight because unfortunately it's too late now to get him a bed for the night and get him back here in time for the flight, which is at 5 to 8 in the morning. OK, sir, this is the reason why you've been refused entry. Do you want me to read it to you, or would you like it translated? We had lots of evidence to work with, and whilst we didn't get a confession as to exactly what he was doing, we were able to establish that he's not just a visitor, and so essentially he's using the UK as a base for whatever he's doing. And there's enough reason there to cancel his visa because he stated when he applied for it he would come for a 3-week holiday, and he's spent 26 out of the last 30 months here.
The passenger was detained overnight and placed on a flight back to Pakistan the following day. More than 5 million passengers a year enter the UK through the port of Calais. For those trying to cross the channel illegally, they have almost 5,000 trucks a day to choose from. British immigration officers have been based here since 2004. On duty tonight are Officer Bridget McCarthy and her team. It's their job to check lorries for clandestines, as they call them.
OK, we're in the Calais freight lane. It's now just gone 4:30 in the morning. Got a team of 4 of us in the lanes. One of the officers is doing the board, taking down the registration of the vehicles. Someone is speaking to the driver, checking the cabs, and you've got 2 of us doing CO2 probes. That's putting them up inside the soft-sided vehicles and seeing if we've got anyone breathing in there. If we do get a high reading, then we'll be going in on the vehicle. What's happening now is we've both got a high reading on this particular one. The driver slept in Calais, he's just stated. He's got a tilt cord, but it's not secured to the seal or padlock, but he has got a padlock. So we're both going to go in and just hopefully there's no one here.
3/4 of all the trucks that come through this port are stopped and searched. In 2007, the Border Force stopped nearly 12,000 clandestines. No one knows how many get through undetected.
Around this area of France, they get different pockets of different nationalities. Up on the Belgian borders and further into Belgium, there's a lot of Indian clandestines hanging around. Around this area, coming into the port and the motorways in France, you've got a lot of Afghans, Iranis, Iraqis, and then illegal entrants claiming to be Eritreans.
Just going to go under.
You got your passport?
The team can check and clear a lorry every 2 minutes. But if their CO2 probes pick up signs of life, the search may take a little longer.
Claire had a high reading at the front, so that's the reason we're going to be going in. Now we're going to need to have the side curtain off, please.
No, nothing close.
The team know from experience that if clandestines have picked up a truck to hide in, they'll root as deep inside as they can.
We've got one here, guys. Do you want to let the chief know, please? This door was slightly open, but it wasn't closed properly. And we pulled it, and inside we've got a young male Eritrean that's in here. He's fine, he's a bit distressed at the moment and upset, I think. He's only upset because we found him, love him, that's all. But we're going to get him out now, have a talk to him. Claire, can I have the torch, babe? We've got a few more here, guys. There's more than one, guys. Guys, how many people speak English, please? Is anyone hurt? You're all okay?
At the moment, it's 2, or it's at least 4. I've just had a shout of 4.
It's at least 4?
At least 4 inside machinery.
We've got 4 we can see at the moment. I think one of our people here might be a female. Guys, where did you get in? Anybody going to speak to me this morning? No?
I've not been in there myself at the moment. I'm waiting for the officers to keep searching it, but it looks like it's some sort of kind of generator.
I'm going to start getting them out.
Okay, keep them there.
Good boy. Be careful, sweetheart, be careful.
For each clandestine, the truck driver and freight company can be given a fine of £2,000.
You speak English? No English? OK, no problem.
We won't deal with them at the moment. We'll just let them get some air if they've been inside there.
You all right, sweetheart? Looks like we have got a female here. Oh, and she's a baby as well. She's a young one. You all right?
It is a difficult moment. I mean, my priority as a chief immigration officer is to make sure that these illegals are OK. That's priority number 1. They've been inside a sealed container there for some time. Thankfully, they look healthy. I've checked with them now. They're all OK. They're chatting. So we're just now going to deal with them and process them.
I personally don't have a personal opinion while I'm at work as to their reasons for coming. You know, we've got a job to do, and we do the job to the best of our ability. And they're not supposed to be travelling this way undocumented to the UK, and we have to do our job to stop them. We don't take any pleasure in it. It's just a job we do. We get on and do it, and that's it. Where did you get in? Belgique? Belgique? No?
Talking to them, they've all got different reasons why they want to come to the UK. Some of them claim it's because in their own country they'll be in danger, either mortal danger or going to prison, something like that, so they don't want to stay in their own country. Some of them are under the impression that it'll be a much better life if they make it into the UK, and there's much more opportunities for them to have a family, to find work, etc., for an education sometimes. So they've all got individual reasons.
We've got to do this job here, not just to stop them getting to the UK, but we have to do it for their safety as well. I mean, this could have been a refrigerated vehicle that they'd got into unknowing, and the driver could have put the fridge on at a later date, and, you know, could have been fatal. So it's a job well done. We're pleased.
The 4 Eritreans are not carrying any identification. If they were, the French authorities could remove them from French soil. All they can do in this case is remove them from the port. Almost every minute from 5 in the morning to midnight, a plane load of passengers arrives at Heathrow. Officers in customs have stopped a couple who have come into the country on a holiday visa. Their bags tell a different story. In his 3 years as an immigration officer, Tim Wetherill has never seen a haul like it.
They've had 3 suitcases which are down there, and the entire contents is all this, as you can see. Apparently we've got 18,000 cigarettes here, and then the rest here, 27.6 kilos of rolling tobacco, which is what customs have now seized, which is why it's all bagged up. Apparently the sort of duty value on that is just over £10,000, which is what they've obviously avoided by paying, and were trying to make their profits by selling on when they got into the UK. And that's all they've had in their bag, so it's a fairly substantial amount. You know, there's no argument that this was for personal consumption, obviously, this much. It's obviously they're coming here to sell it.
Officer Wetherill will lead the investigation on the motives of their visit. He and his boss, Sarah Dyson, the chief immigration officer, will decide their fate.
They had 3 bags with them, all of which just contain nothing but cigarettes and tobacco.
And
so they have
clothes?
no clothes, nothing like that.
How long are they seeking entry for, Tim?
5 days. They had got return tickets for 5 days.
Passports. I mean, is it likely that they've been doing this quite regularly?
Well, that's a brand new passport for her, and she's not travelled before. He came here in March, and he also came in 2006, where he had 2 sort of quite close trips to each other.
So he didn't come at all in 2006?
No.
So it might be a good idea to take him through his travel history since 2006 to get a picture of how often he travels and where he travels, because travelling is, well, it's cheaper than it was, but it's still not cheap.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'd be interested to know how he funds these many and varied trips across the world, if not through cigarette smuggling.
The man comes from Mumbai in India.
Why are you coming over to the UK today?
Today I came because I want to tour for my wife for 5 days. That's why I come.
So you brought your wife for a tour for 5 days?
Yes, sir.
Why then, in your luggage, did you have so many cigarettes with you?
It's my big mistake, sir. Because when I come from India, they're not allowed to take me money. That's why I bring my friend told me that you go take cigarette. I think that there is 200 carton cigarettes allowed.
If you're allowed 200 cigarettes, you bought 18,000. There's quite a difference there between 200 and 18,000, isn't there? If I tell you that the total amount of tax that you would have to pay on all those cigarettes and all that tobacco is just over £10,000. You understand that?
Yeah.
So what you attempted to do today was to defraud the British government out of £10,000. Do you understand how serious that is?
Yeah. I'm apologize, sir. I'm really apologize, and I'm sorry for your whole country, sir. I'm really apologize. Why should I bring my wife and do like that, such a bad thing, sir?
Because she has a suitcase as well. You can fit more in.
Huh?
So she can bring suitcases as well, and you can fit more in.
What?
Because if you bring your wife, she then has a suitcase as well, so you can carry more.
Because he also don't know, and I also don't know, sir.
And also, if you bring your wife, you may think that you would be less suspicious to customs, less likely to be stopped.
No. It's not fair, sir. No. Why should I bring, sir?
To get away with it and sell, and then you make money.
No want to make money, sir. I only want to.
You told me that was the main reason you bought them, was to get money.
No, I want to transfer the money, convert the money, sir.
So do you honestly expect me to believe you when you tell me that you brought cigarettes into this country for currency exchange?
Yeah.
Officer Wetherall now has all the evidence to put before the Chief Immigration Officer.
Either they already have a buyer lined up here and they're just going to drop this whole load off with the buyer and take away what I think will be a substantial profit.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be doing it otherwise. It's got to be for profit.
Yeah. If they didn't have the cigarettes with them, I'm in no doubt they wouldn't be stood here today. That is the main reason they're coming here for.
We can do change of purpose. Okay? Yeah. And I think we need to try and find a flight tonight for them. They're India.
Once Officer Wetherall has found flights to India for the couple, he will inform them they're being sent back home. Preventing those who try to get into Britain illegally is one thing. Tracking down, arresting and deporting those who've managed to slip through the net is quite another. That's where the enforcement team comes in. Today, they're targeting butchers in East London in an operation led by Immigration Officer Vicky Lacey.
Intelligence suggests that Imam Quality Halal Meat has a history of employing illegal workers. We've previously been to this address. It was in September last year where we arrested 4 subjects. There were 10 people encountered, so it's quite a busy butcher's. OK, let's go. It's predominantly Asian population, Pakistani, Indian, Bangladeshis. It's a very tight community. It's a very busy shopping street we're going to. We will just generate a lot of interest from being there. We've had feedback from people that we've previously arrested saying, oh, we knew you were coming because, the phones start going, the vans are on the road, is it going to be us next? So it should be interesting.
If an employer has not made the required checks on his workforce, he can be fined £10,000 for each illegal worker found on his premises.
Morning, gentlemen, from the Immigration Service. OK, you're just serving somebody, are you, sir, at the moment?
Who's the boss?
So make your way towards the rest of your colleagues for us, please.
Hello, sir. Hi, I'm the officer in charge today. Obviously, we visited your premises last year.
That's right, yeah.
We just have a right to check up on you.
Can I take your name, please?
We're speaking to the staff here. We, as you know from before, we've been here before. It appears the manager's got all his records into order. Everyone's been cleared. There's 2 left to finish off.
Immigration Officer Jimmy Ahmed has doubts about one worker. The man claims he doesn't need a work permit because he's being adopted by a British citizen.
OK, who was it that's adopting you? What's their name? Your adoption?
My uncle.
Your uncle?
Yeah.
OK, hold on, mate. What's his name?
Yusuf.
Yusuf, what Yusuf?
Mr. Yusuf.
Full name?
Full name is Mr. Yusuf.
Mr. Yusuf?
Yeah.
There needs to be, obviously he's got more than just Mr. Yusuf. What's his full name? Because at the moment we can't find you on our systems.
Do you have his document? Look, basically, he's saying he's got indefinite leave to remain, and we can't find him.
Okay.
So if you have anything that can speed up the process, any documentation that he's given to you, either a passport or a letter from the Home Office, that would be brilliant.
Right, your adoption application, was it refused?
No, it wasn't.
So what was it? Because there's no way that your application is still running from 1996. That's impossible. Okay, mate, no problem. Right, cheers. So at the moment, you don't have any right to be in the UK. Okay? Are you aware of that fact? Work with me, yeah? You came here in 95, you made an application in 96 for adoption. Yeah? That was refused. Okay? Then you applied again, and that was refused as well. Yes. So at the moment, you don't have any stay. So at the present moment in time, I'm arresting you on suspicion of overstaying, okay?
Enforcement officers have the power of arrest, and this illegal worker now faces deportation. But the team is satisfied the employer has done all he can to check the legal status of his workers.
From being here before, he didn't have any records. We arrested 4 of his staff. He's now in compliance with the new legislation. The whole point of what we do isn't really to go, is to find offenders, but also to make sure that people are in compliance with the new illegal working legislation. So, yeah, he's doing well.
At Heathrow's Terminal 3, the couple carrying 18,000 cigarettes and 27 kilos of tobacco are waiting to hear their fate. Officer Wetherall must tell them they will be put on a plane back to India tonight.
I'm not expecting him to take it particularly badly, to be honest. It may well turn out that he is upset, but at the same time, you can't really argue with the facts. They've tried to evade over £10,000 worth of duty in the UK. We didn't give them a visa to come here and sell cigarettes, and that's what they're coming here to do. Obviously, you were issued with visitors' visas to come here on holiday. The fact that you have all the cigarettes and tobacco with you, and that you've stated you're intending to sell that, on that basis, we're going to refuse you leave to enter the UK today. We're not going to allow you to come into the country. Legally, we have to send you back on the first available flight, and that's what we're going to do today. There is a flight.
Sorry, if I go there back, they will kill me. With the Indian government, they will kill both of us. They will send me behind the bar. There is too much tension in India. If you not entry for 2 or 3 days here, and you will send me, I don't know. They will kill us.
I explained to you when I was interviewing you that you needed to be fully forthcoming and honest with me, that you needed to tell me the truth. You haven't mentioned anything about that.
No, but sir, if you deport like this, they will kill me. But
Who will kill you?
No, Indian government, sir.
Just because of the cigarettes?
Too much harassment in India, sir. Please, why they don't release me?
Okay. You made that decision to bring those cigarettes into this country, yeah?
No, but right now
you made that decision, and that was your decision, okay? And as such, you have been refused leave to enter this country and are being returned to India.
No, sir.
There is nothing that can be done. Those are the rules.
If you like do this, I'll kill myself here, sir. Why don't I go there? There's too much trouble over there.
You need to wait here. I'll come back and speak to you in a minute, okay? When I was talking to him, he said, "Shall I just kill myself now then?" And I'm not sure how flippant the remark was. I'm not sure how serious he was. But obviously, if someone in immigration detention is making threats like that, we can't just ignore it, obviously. Sarah's just going to go and have a chat with the passenger now and sort of explain things to him to see whether or not that calms him down.
Listen, okay, as far as the law is concerned, there is no flexibility, okay? Your visas are cancelled and you have to go back to India. If they are still saying that they feel under threat from the Indian authorities, then they need to explain that to us in a bit more detail.
अरेंज करेंगे आपको वापस जब जाएंगे नहीं हो सकता इधर विजिटर हिसाब से
I will kill myself, but don't go, please.
Right, listen, okay. Is it worth saying things like that? Okay, calm down, listen. Okay.
And do favor for us, man, please. See, I am not the first time in London. I am coming from 8 years to a steam country.
I hear you. I hear you. Listen.
And before my 8 years ago, I didn't do anything wrong in England. But it's my
It's my minor mistakes. It is not my.
Yes, it's a mistake.
I don't bring any drugs and I don't bring any ammunition and arms.
Okay, I hear you.
So you're telling me like that.
All right.
You go.
So are you telling? Okay. You're getting so upset that I'm thinking that you are much more worried about going back to India because you believe something will happen to you.
The man's claims take the investigation to a new level. Chief Immigration Officer Dyson and Officer Wetherall must make sure the couple understand their options.
The claims that you've made are obviously very serious. I need a decision. These are the options that you have. If you think in your heart of hearts that you will be killed when you return to India, then you have no choice but to claim asylum in the UK. If you are not genuinely in fear of your life, you need to return home to India, and that is a decision that you have to make. Okay?
Are we in agreement that you're actually asking for asylum here? Is that what you're asking for, sir? Say yes or no. There's no problem.
Yes.
So you want political asylum here? Is that correct?
Give me passport. I will go on counter and I will arrange my for ticket, and then I will take my passport and I will go.
The man's changing demands suggest to the officers that his fear of returning to India is not genuine.
I've given you options. We've discussed things at great length. No. Make your decision and we will process that decision.
When you will give me
Make
passport?
your decision now, okay?
Just please.
First option is you go back to India tonight and I get the officer to speak to the airline and ask the captain if he will give you your passports back, okay? So that you can quietly present them yourself. The next option is you tell me that you're in fear of your life and you want asylum. We will listen to your claim for asylum. It will be processed properly and heard fairly, but you'll be detained until the outcome. The third option is you tell me that you don't want asylum, okay, but you won't go tonight, quietly. Then I will have no option, okay, to arrange escorts for you. 2 people who will go with both of you, maybe even 4 people who will go with both of you, and you'll be in handcuffs and you will go back tomorrow.
आपने जाना है?
जाना है ना?
They want to go.
The passengers have said that they will go on the flight as long as they can be reunited with their passports to go home. So I was just checking that the airline are okay to give them their passports so they can arrive in India as normal arriving passengers.
They've been refused entry because their visas are not valid for the purpose for which entry was sought, i.e. coming to sell goods. And I just want to satisfy myself that they'll be treated okay when they get to India. They've not been convicted of anything, it's just that their visas are not valid for this purpose. Okay, so I would like them to be treated okay, yeah?
It's been 8 hours since the tobacco smugglers were caught by customs. Their deal with immigration means the only thing the Indian authorities will know is that they were refused entry to Britain because they changed the purpose of their visit. In Calais, the search team is coming to the end of their night shift. Rush hour has started. Truck drivers head for the morning ferries after a few hours rest.
It sounds like our colleagues have got some another find of people in the shed next door. It's a hard-sided vehicle as well.
Hello, guys.
It's a huge find, and the clandestines haven't even bothered to try and conceal themselves.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
16.
Basically, you can't see the back of the lorry because there's just so many of them in there, just sat on top of a load of yogurts.
Where? Belgium? Where have you come from?
Any miners in there, Dave? Any female miners?
No ladies, no? No ladies? Where from?
Where are you from?
Afghanistan, yeah?
Afghanistan. Yeah.
Right, guys, can we have them out one at a time? Come on, gentlemen.
The team regularly stops Afghanis from entering Britain illegally. Of all the clandestines caught at Calais, more are from Afghanistan than any other country.
Yeah, they're very pleasant guys. They don't seem deterred by, I think they'll be gutted that they're being found.
Yeah, everything's fine. Yeah, again, the main concern is with the people you find in the back of these sealed units. First priority is, are they okay? And as you can see, they're smiling, they're okay, so there's no problems there.
What's happening now is the guys are going in to make sure that it is all clear before they declare the vehicle clear.
We've got a load of chilled goods for supermarkets that have obviously been damaged a little, but not major. yeah, it's just chocolate desserts, tiramisus, panna cottas, profiterole rolls.
As you know, this is a refrigerated vehicle. It's running at +2, I believe, between +2 and +5. It is cold. They're well wrapped up. I've just put my hands in there, so it's pretty cold.
Evidence that they've been in here a little while. It's not very hygienic, obviously, but they've been quite careful in filling a bottle like that.
Border Control keeps a record of every clandestine found. Each will be photographed and fingerprinted before being handed over to the French authorities.
We've just got nowhere else to put them at the moment. Obviously, such a big number, we need to process them now. Now we've entered that vehicle with the 16 clandestines, all of Afghani origin, all male and all in fairly good spirits.
I remember one at the beginning of this year that had about 3 or 4 more, and that was in the back of the big drums from cement mixers that we found down on the berths. But other than that, I can't think of anything that's been more than this, other than that one this year. On average, this is a big find.
We've handed them over now to ECS, who are our escort team. They're going to take them into the detention room one at a time. G4S will search them, put them in detention. That's going to be a long process, because as we know, there's 16 of them, so it could take an hour and a half, maybe, don't know how long.
All 16 Afghanis, none of them carrying ID, are escorted out of the port, free to join the clandestine community in Calais, and free to try another day to cross the Channel illegally. In East London, the enforcement team is gearing up for another surprise visit. Once again, they're after butchers and illegal workers.
Same method, arrest 2, go back to the rear, and if you can do your rear cover again. Any questions? Let's rock and roll. We've not visited this place before. It's quite a big butcher's like the last one. It'll be the same method as before, round up the staff, have a chat, see if the management have got their records in order. Let's go, everyone. Guys, can you come down here, please? Down you come.
A sweep through the whole shop turns up 10 butchers for the team to check out.
Sir, can you stand over here for me? Right, we're checking everyone. I've spoken to the manager. He doesn't have any photocopies of documents, Home Office papers, only pay as you earn, which is no good to us. So we're going to have to do the whole shebang.
Your visa, how long was it for?
6 months.
6 months.
Short one.
When did you get the visa?
5 years before.
5 years ago. So you've overstayed 4.5 years? Yeah? Right, Mohammed. Right, did you get the visa yourself?
No, one agent.
You come by an agent? He's admitted entering the UK 5 years ago using somebody else's passport with his photograph on it in it. He's since not approached the Home Office to sort his stay out. So I'm going to now interview him with the assistance of my colleague who speaks the language, and we'll take it from there.
I don't believe what you've told me, OK? The Home Office checks have come back and there's no trace of you being issued a visa, OK?
Do you understand that you've entered the UK illegally?
Yeah, he understands that he's entered illegally and he's currently living here illegally.
What you've told me from this interview, OK, I'm going to have to arrest you for entering the UK illegally.
We have arrested 5 people so far. As far as I'm aware, they've all been arrested for overstaying their visas. They've all come on holiday visas. 9 times out of 10, they turn up at the airport, they say they're here for a holiday, they produce a return ticket, they get a job and they don't go home. That's why they've been arrested today. Those of them that have passports, we will aim to put them into a detention centre and remove back to Pakistan in the next 72 hours, hopefully.
Now the team's attention turns to the manager.
Have you made any application on his behalf to stay in the UK?
Not recently.
But you told him you would do, that's why he's overstayed. You said you were going to help him, but you haven't done. Why haven't you?
Are you running some kind of immigration advisory thing? Well, this gentleman has given you his passport and you said you'd make an application.
He's just told us the boss of the shop told him not to go back to Pakistan and that he's going to sort his work permit out. When we just spoken to the boss, he said he's got his passport but he hasn't done anything about it. So the poor guy here has been given the wrong advice and that's why he's been arrested now for overstaying.
Mr. Ahmed, can you please terminate that call,
Well, my
please?
solicitor, I just-
Right, okay. I need the documents for the people that you're...
Yeah.
The documents of the people downstairs.
Okay, yeah.
Things aren't looking good for you at the moment, okay? I'm going to serve you a fine of £50,000. Now, if you have that kind of money to throw away, then, you know, you've got... Basically, you're going to have to prove that you've done all the relevant immigration checks to employ these people legally. And from what I've seen at the moment, you don't have that. All right? So you're going to have to contact your solicitor.
Yes,
Bringing 2 prisoners out.
With the arrest of a 6th illegal worker, the manager could have another £10,000 added to his fine. In her 3 years at Terminal 3, immigration officer Kay Lomas believes she's seen every trick in the book. But now she's faced with a visitor from Turkey who says he's got an official but personal message for the Queen.
This gentleman has turned up from Istanbul. He claims that he's coming to visit the royal family to deliver an invitation to the opening of a yacht club. We don't have a problem with that as such, so long as, one, he is expected, and two, that it's obviously a genuine occasion. I wouldn't expect to be invited to something with a letter like this. Its language is colourful, it's not even square on the paper, and given the nature of what he says he's coming to do, contact a member of the royal family, there are obviously security issues and personal safety issues, so we do have to go into this a little more carefully.
The person you need to talk to is the Christopher Sandemus, because he's the only contact that I have with the palace.
But is this the letter for the Queen?
That's the letter that's going to the Queen.
Official copy?
No, it's sealed. This is why we're hand delivering it, because it was hand sealed with a wax thing. So that's why we're hand delivering it, because it just wouldn't go in the mail.
Seems really genuine, doesn't he? I think. I'm a bit more convinced now that when I saw that one, and it was just on the back of that rough paper, I thought, you wouldn't hand that to Her Majesty. But now seeing that sealed letter, I think, oh, I don't think she's going to go to that opening. I don't think she'll be too busy. It's only next month. Never phoned Buckingham Palace before. I've got a valid reason to call the royal household. Hello, sir. I'm calling from immigration at Heathrow Terminal 3. Hi, sir. Are you expecting anyone today to be coming to the palace? He really is doing that? He really is doing that, yeah? No, well, we were just a bit shocked because when the gentleman came to the desk and said that he was coming to deliver something to the Queen, obviously we have had some cases in the past where it's not been the case, and so we just wanted to make sure that that was true. All right, thank you very much, sir. Thanks, bye. They're expecting it.
Can we have you out, please? We don't perhaps have a guy that has a problem with the royal family, but nor do we have anybody who's really expected yet, other than to deliver something to the side door. So is this kind of the stock answer they give? If you want to deliver something, this is how you would deliver it to the police at the side door. From that then, it's all down to what we think of him.
I know.
How he comes across. And you say he comes across as fairly plausible and genuine.
Yeah, I would like to speak to him
But
again.
I think we do need to speak to him.
The enforcement team has raided 2 butchers and made 7 arrests. But 5 of the detainees don't have passports, which the team needs to remove them from the country. They have no choice but to grant them temporary release.
Right. Also be aware, you're not allowed to work. No more working. You understand? Right? You're not allowed to work. We got no detention space at all, which is a normal case. So the decision was made to release him to sign on at our office on a weekly basis until his application's decided.
Out of the 7 that are arrested today, 5 have been given temporary release to Beckett House, which is an equivalent of kind of like a police bail. Another 2 are being detained to be removed back to Pakistan, and we're going on to do a house search for one of them now.
This worker has told the officers he does have a passport and is at home.
Anyone in? Is this one yours?
Yeah,
Okay.
your passport's in there.
He hasn't told them his home is
Have you
crawling
got the
with
key?
cockroaches.
Oh my! God.
Oh, it's walking in the whole place.
Bingo.
There we go.
Yeah.
I can't have...
No, the whole floor's moving. No.
Oh, God. The roaches, they're everywhere. In fact, I'm going to take my trousers in my boot. Got his passport. Here he is, the guy that was arrested. And his holiday or visit visa, which expired 28th of February 2007. It's time for him to go home now.
The two detained illegal workers are later given temporary release until their removal from Britain can be confirmed. 4 of the 5 released on the street did not comply with reporting conditions. They have been circulated as absconders on the police national computer. The owner of the butchers was fined £25,000. Even though Buckingham Palace has confirmed they are expecting a visitor from Turkey to deliver a letter for the Queen, Officer Lomas must make sure he is genuine.
So why have you decided to come over to bring the letter rather than just post it?
Because it will make better impression, you know. It makes a better impression if someone gets on an airplane, flies 4 hours, brings an envelope that's been sealed with wax, which is an ancient kind of tradition, that even if the Queen says, you know, I can't make it, you know, she might send somebody else. She might say, you know, that's, you know, pretty interesting that someone did that. So it's to make an impression.
Can I just borrow this document?
Yes.
I shall return it shortly. I'm doing this to make things happen a bit quicker. Come on, wait outside.
Oh, okay.
I'm happy that he's coming to do what he says he's coming to do. The people he's coming to see are happy for him to come and do it. He's likely to return when he says he's going to return, and as a chief immigration officer, that's all I'm interested in. He's happy, he understands why we stopped him, and he's on his way.
There we go, sir. Good luck with your letter.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your
Take
work.
care. Bye, sir. Take care.
They're protecting Her Majesty's borders, and someone who's going to get close to the royal family, they want to know more about that person. That makes sense to me. But I wish it took a shorter time.
Every year, over 100 million people go through passport control to get into Britain. Most are welcome and legal, many are not. For the first time on television, we go behind the scenes with the UK Border Agency, the men and women on the front line of immigration. Tonight, sorting out excess baggage.
We've got 6 males, 3 are claiming to be from Afghanistan and 3 are from Iraq.
Getting tough on illegal workers.
Going to extraordinary lengths not to allow us into that room. Get over my plate! Immigration!
And no way in for the quiet American and his special friend.
Hello! I'm a monster, and I'm going back to the United States today, and I am very upset about that.
Heathrow is one of the busiest airports in the world. At Terminal 3, there are 50,000 passengers arriving every day.
Next, please. How long will you all be staying for? There you go. Thank you. Thank you.
Most have a legitimate reason to come into the country.
Thank you, madam.
Okay, thanks very much.
It's down to the immigration officers at the desks to spot those who don't. Officer Neil Newbury started working at Heathrow after doing a maths degree. Today, he stopped a student returning to Britain after a trip home to India. But the border agency suspect Mr. Singh's college in London may be bogus.
When you get these sort of letters confirming, yes, the student is studying here, yes, he can go on holiday for this amount of time, it's usually printed out on a better quality paper if it's a genuine letter. I mean, I could probably print something like that up myself, given a little bit of time on my own computer. So it's not looking great for me at the moment, if I have to be totally honest.
Officer Newbury wants to find out what the passenger is doing in the UK. He starts by checking Mr. Singh's luggage for clues.
You work here? Where do you work? At Tesco's. What do you study, sir? Computer science. Okay. I found a lot of information about his studies, a couple of quite large textbooks, so that's a lot of things in his favour. At the moment, I'm sort of changed my mind. I'm thinking he may be genuine now, because he's certainly got the work with him to confirm that he has been studying here and is intending to complete his qualifications.
But it's time to dig deeper. Officer Newbury must make sure Mr. Singh is sticking to the rules. As a foreign student, he's only allowed to work a maximum of 20 hours a week.
You say you also work in the UK?
Oh, yeah.
As where do you work and what do you work as?
Tesco's, nights.
What does a night shift involve? What hours?
It's basically one night shift is 7.5 hours. So in total it's 15 hours.
Okay, if you'd like to follow me, please.
Before giving Mr. Singh the all-clear to enter the UK, Officer Newbury must be sure he's telling the truth.
Gov.uk.
He gives Tesco a call.
Yes, he's returned back to the UK from a holiday abroad, and we just want to confirm with yourselves his hours of work and how long he's actually worked for you. 36.5 hours. Okay. Even if he is actually attending his college on a rare occasion, the fact is Tesco's have confirmed he's doing 36 hours a week work for them, and as a student he can only work 20 hours a week. There's no way around that. So, yeah, he's in a bit of trouble there. Okay, Mr. Singh, come over here, please, sir. I'll try a few more questions, OK? You'd like to follow me, please. You've already told me you're aware that you can only work 20 hours as a student. In fact, Tesco have told me that you've been working 36.5 hours a week.
It's only possible because that's a night shift.
So it doesn't sound like you're studying to me, to be honest. Do you now know what will happen to you? You've broken the conditions of your study visa, so your visa will be cancelled today.
Whatever you want me to do, I can.
There's nothing that you can do now, sir.
There's actually no university in whole India.
You should have thought about that before you started working full-time in this country. He's obviously very desperate to stay here. He's saying he wants to complete this course. Obviously, he's extremely desperate to do that, but I'm afraid for me it's going to fall on deaf ears, because he had his opportunity a little while ago to come clean to me when I asked him the first time. He's had his opportunity again to come clean with me, and he didn't. He lied to me twice, and I cannot sympathise with someone like that because he lied to me.
Mr. Singh must wait before finding out if he can enter Britain. It's the Chief Immigration Officer who will confirm this final decision.
I think on balance, the fact that he has worked in breach, I think that's significantly enough to go down the change of purpose route. No, unfortunately, you can't work here solely to support your studies. Genuine students are meant to fund their education from their sponsorship or from other sources, and they can't just work in the United Kingdom to fund their education.
Okay, I've spoken to the Chief Immigration Officer with regards to what you've told me and what Tesco's have told us, and we decided to refuse your entry to the United Kingdom today and cancel your visa, okay?
There's no chance.
Afraid not, no. You've worked in breach of your visa conditions. There's no way back from that, I'm afraid. Working full-time weekly can generate a lot of money, which can then be converted into a lot of money in their country. So there's a lot of money at stake. If we had the time to actually sit down and really, really question and thoroughly examine every single student that comes through our borders, I think we'd find an awful lot of them that aren't actually studying here or aren't actually meeting their conditions of their visa. Unfortunately, with the amount of people we have coming through just this terminal alone, there's absolutely no way we can catch every single person.
Mr. Singh spends the night in detention before boarding the first available flight back to India. Britain's border force faces its biggest challenge in France. Every day, almost 5,000 vehicles cross the Channel from Calais. Trucks have become the transport of choice for illegal immigrants desperate to find a better life in Britain. Known as clandestines, in 2007, nearly 12,000 of them were stopped by immigration officers here at Calais. It's midnight, and on the front line tonight is Officer Emma Hogben. She's using a probe which reveals human breathing.
30. Tonight's really busy, so we've got a lot of traffic coming through and a lot of sailings. Each berth tonight's got about 4 sailings each, so I think each ferry holds about 120 lorries. We've got a lot of freight traffic coming through tonight. All we're doing now is we're probing all the soft-sided vehicles with the CO2 units to see if we get a reading. They measure the amount of carbon dioxide that's in the vehicle. So the lower the reading, the less carbon dioxide there is. And obviously the higher the reading, the more there is, which would indicate to us that there's a possibility of people being inside the vehicle. If we get a reading, then we'll have to open them.
Officer Hogben is not the only one involved. Other search teams are also at work, and they might have just found something.
You all right in there? We've got 2 colleagues in there at the minute. There's about 6 people they think they've got, but they're right at the front of the vehicle. Ooh!
Clandestines are usually friendly.
Hello. Hello. Oh,
and rarely aggressive or threatening.
Speak English?
Yes, why not?
Where are you from?
I'm from Afghani.
Where?
Afghan.
Afghani.
Iraq?
Yeah.
Are you from Iraq?
Yeah.
Yeah? Him?
Yeah.
How did you get in the vehicle?
Did you come in to the side?
We've got 6 males. 3 are claiming to be from Afghanistan and 3 are from Iraq. And what we'll do is we'll take photos of them in situ and then we'll get them out one by one where they'll be detained so we can serve papers on them. Yeah. Stay there. When we opened the curtains, we were quite close to the ship, so their immediate reaction was how close they were to getting onto the ship, which for them must be quite heartbreaking because they're so close to getting to the UK, but they've been stopped, so they were quite disappointed, to say the least.
For every clandestine found, there's the maximum of a £2,000 penalty for both the driver and the company which owns the truck. The ferries need to run on time, so the searching is relentless.
Hello, can you sit down with your passport, please?
The clandestines are cunning and the hiding places imaginative.
Certain loads can be really difficult to search, and in particular tyres, because they can bury themselves underneath them and they're quite difficult to sort of climb across. And wheelie bins are also very difficult because they can get inside, so you have to crawl across and lift up each lid individually, so it's quite difficult to find people. And we often go home with really strange bruises as well from where we've been climbing in certain things.
Officer Emma Matthews may be about to get some more bruises. The CO2 probe has registered a high reading in another lorry.
I can smell.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can definitely smell.
Just here.
Can
Stay
you
there.
pass us the camera, please?
Stay there.
How many? 2 here.
Just 5 months I was here in Calais.
5 months in Calais.
And you speak English?
Where are you from?
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan.
Stop moving, please.
Well, there's 2 so far, but good possibility that some more down the front. Just one more?
There is another person
3?
in here.
Yeah. Yeah, there's another one here.
There is, yeah, I thought it was.
Hello. From Afghanistan as well? Yeah. Any more people? Just 3. 1 chance. They always ask for 1 chance.
Their 1 chance to get to England. As soon as they get to England, then they can try and claim asylum. But can't give them that chance.
Okay, you just wait over there.
What, we stay in Calais for 5 months? Oh, I'm sure, quite frankly, this is probably the 3rd or 4th time in as many weeks or so that this has probably happened. It's all part of the routine that these guys go through in order to get through to the UK.
The trickle has turned into a flood. More Afghan clandestines have been found in another truck.
So 3 people? 3?
It sounds like we've got another one further in who's actually crouched within a load of plastic. Basically, they're just rummaging to see if they can find some more.
Oh, mate. Thank you. One chance. No. Stop asking. Why? Because. Come down, please. One chance. No. This way.
I think it's a bit too much of a coincidence that within 10 minutes, till we get 2 lorries with 3 Afghanis in each, they'll be handed over to G4S to mind them while we finish the paperwork, and then they'll be taken back over to the French authorities and removed out of the control zone.
So far tonight, the team have stopped 12 people from crossing the channel illegally. But not every truck is stopped. No one knows how many clandestines get through undetected. At Heathrow Terminal 3, there is a queue of people trying to get into Britain. Officer Tim Wetherall's been working these passport desks for 3 years and does things by the book. He stopped a man from Chicago who says he's here to spend time with his girlfriend.
An American who is a basketball player. He's coming to the UK for 2 months. He has a Portuguese girlfriend here who he says he's coming to see. When I asked him what exactly he's going to be doing in the UK, he just said working out. The concern at the moment is that, the sponsor says she has enough funds to support him, and we have nothing to disbelieve that claim. The worry I have is that he may possibly have been working illegally in Spain, which obviously then we would have the concern that he would do the same here.
The American and his Portuguese girlfriend have been living in Spain, which is now waiting for him in arrivals downstairs. Officer Wetherall won't let them see each other until he's satisfied the man isn't planning to live and work in the UK.
And what is it that you do for work?
Play basketball.
Okay, so what is it you're actually coming over to the UK for today?
Visit my girlfriend.
But what plans do you have with your girlfriend with regards to sort of going forward? Obviously, she's just moved to the UK. Long term, do you sort of plan on moving here or planning on moving to Portugal, or has it not really been discussed?
Actually, I'm planning on getting married.
Okay. Are you engaged currently, or?
Yes. I'm here because we're making our way to the embassy to take care of the part of the marriage.
Okay. How long have you been together? Yourself and your
Ooh, man, y'all the guys. Asking personal questions, man.
Well, that's related to whether or not you'd be allowed to marry in the UK. That's why I asked. 2.5 years. Okay. In order to get married in the UK, you require to have a visa before you come here.
A marriage visa?
Yeah. The fact that obviously you've stated you're planning on getting married and you don't have the visa that you required prior to coming here may result in you being refused leave to enter into the UK today. Okay? That's not a decision that's been made yet. That's nothing, but I'm just making you aware that's sort of the worst case scenario. Okay, you understand that? I don't think he's sort of been trying to deceive us at all. I don't think he's sort of tried to not tell the truth, but I just think he seems sort of quite naive. He wasn't aware of the fact that he needed to have this entry clearance, which he hasn't got. Unfortunately, I'm happy that he's been telling me the truth during interview. So yeah, as I say, I think it's sort of naivety rather than sort of any deception that's gone on here.
The decision to allow or refuse the American entry will be made by Officer Wetherall. But first he will consult the Chief Immigration Officer.
So the bottom line is, he's coming here not as a visitor, he's coming to get married.
Yes.
Plans after that are still up in the air.
Still up in the air. He said that mainly they're probably looking at going back to Spain.
Why bother coming here, getting a job, and why bother getting married here? If in the end staying in the UK isn't part of the plan. Yeah. I'm not happy because this man has now told us he's coming to get married. He could have told us that when he first arrived. So at the moment, I am looking that this man might not qualify for entry. But obviously, given that the sponsor is an EEA national, that's some area we have to look at as well. And, we'll make a decision when we've looked at all the facts.
The American's fate is now back in Officer Wetherall's hands. We'll have to find out if it is true love. Illegal immigrants are living and working in all corners of Britain. Targeting the Isle of Wight today is a special enforcement team whose task it is to try and track them down and send them home. This border force is led by Officers Simone Shepherd and Jim O'Leary. They've been told 2 curry houses are employing illegal workers. They can never be too sure just how good their tip-offs are.
You never know what you're going to get when you go into a premises, to be perfectly honest. You can go in looking for one and come out with a dozen.
Enforcement teams in 2007 arrested more than 5,000 illegal immigrants. Employers can be fined up to £10,000 for each illegal worker they employ.
Are you the boss, mate? No? Do you work here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do work here, OK.
Are all the cookers off? Yeah, they're all off. Lovely.
Did you take photocopies of any documents for your employees?
No.
No. We've got around about 11 people on the premises, of which he says 5 or 6 are employees. He's got no documentation with regard to their eligibility to be in the UK or, in fact, to work in the UK. We could be here for a couple of hours anyway.
Officer Shepherd leads a second team to another restaurant where they suspect illegal workers have been working and living.
Can you come in, please?
Go in, Bill, that's
Yeah.
fine. Nice and gently.
Hello there, immigration.
Sit
Have you
down,
got any
sir.
identification, please? If you've got it, sir, could you get it for us, please? Some ID?
ID, sir. You've got ID.
ID, passport?
Passport.
I'm sorry to wake you up. Thank you very much.
You got your passport?
Well, can you just confirm your name for me, please, sir?
Yes.
Your name, please?
My name is Johiruddin.
And how did you enter the UK, sir?
আমি তো জুয়ে আইছি মনে করো
He came on a visiting. So has he a passport here? Does he have a passport?
No passport, no my this year. My this somebody taking a passport. No my passport with somebody.
So he used somebody else's passport?
Yes.
Which was then, so you entered the UK legally?
Yes.
Okay, and your family name?
At the first restaurant, they found 2 workers with out-of-date visas.
You've told me that last year you got a visa to visit the UK for 6 months. And that was last May.
But therefore I am satisfied that you have entered the United Kingdom illegally. I'm arresting you on suspicion of being an illegal immigrant in the United Kingdom.
And I am arresting you at this time on suspicion of overstaying your visa. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something you later rely on in court. Do you have any possessions on you, sir? Can you empty your pockets and put them on the bed for me, please?
But you're working downstairs as well, aren't you?
No, just sometimes. Just
Sometimes. How many hours do you work a week?
I've got permission about 16 hours, but I'm not working last 6-7 months. I didn't work anything.
Oh, so you just live here?
Yeah, just live.
So do you have a copy of your passport or anything?
Everything go my house.
No, sorry, I'm really sorry about
I
it.
go
And this is all your money, is it?
Yes, sir.
But you're not working? Right.
We've done our Home Office checks. One of the gentlemen is an overstayer, which means he's no longer got any leave to be in the UK, so he is removable. So he's already been arrested and he'll be coming with us to the police station. The other gentleman has admitted to being an illegal entrant, so he's been arrested as well, and he'll come with us for that interview. So we're going to sit them in a little room out the way a moment while we go and see if we can find some documents for them in their bedroom. With the overstayer, hopefully if we find his passport shortly, he'll be removed back to Bangladesh.
Well, I have his passport, which means he will be going home. I got your passport was in your jeans, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'll just put those
Thank
in there.
you.
But this search for illegal workers has taken a more sinister turn. One the officers cannot ignore.
What we found here, we found some DVDs. There's one of these that may seem slightly concerning. I don't know the nature of the DVD. I don't know whether it's promoting or it's against terrorism, but obviously the DVD itself looks to be of some concern to us, so we'll need to have a chat with the gentleman and perhaps refer it on to police or to special branch in order for them to take it further if they deem that necessary.
2 illegal workers from each restaurant were arrested. One will be immediately deported back to Bangladesh, while others will be temporarily released while their travel documents are sorted out. Both restaurants will be issued with a formal warning and face a fine if it happens again. At Heathrow Airport, the flights continue to pour in. 1,000 planes land here every day. At Terminal 3, the American who says he's here to marry his Portuguese fiancée is still waiting to hear if he'll be allowed in.
Well, I mean, as a visitor, he does not qualify for entry into the UK because he's coming to get married here. What we need to do now is find out to make sure he doesn't qualify for entry as an unmarried partner of someone settled in the UK. In order for him to qualify for entry, the parties have to have been living together in a relationship akin to a marriage or a civil partnership which has subsisted for 2 years or more. So how long have the two of you been in a relationship before? How long have you sort of actually been a couple for?
Approximately 2 years and 3 months.
And how sort of quickly after you got together did you end up living together? Did you cohabit straight away, or have you?
No, maybe a year later.
A year or so later.
Yeah. Now, where's my fiance?
She's in the arrivals area downstairs. She's actually at the airport.
Okay. I got a confession, man. These last months or 2 months, man, I've been going through a lot.
Okay.
Man, my sister died.
Yeah, your fiance told me.
A couple of my aunties died. I just need to get away from the States.
Okay.
Because
I can understand that, and you know.
I just need to get away, man. And my getaway is my girlfriend. And
okay.
So I won't even get to see my girlfriend.
There is a chance that you won't get to see her. No, I'm not going to lie to you, because she can't come up through security this way.
Please, man.
Again, that's not sort of cast in stone, and I haven't made any decisions yet, and no one has. But you know, I don't want to give you the hope that you know you're going to be able to spend time with her, as there is a chance you might not be able to. Okay. It sounds like he has had a hard time in the States. The fiancé stated that his sister was murdered back there, which is obviously, you know, it's horrific for anyone. And we do take into account any compelling and compassionate circumstances. But given that he's also said that most of his family are still back in the States, you know, I don't think we're sort of, if we were to sort of refuse him, if that's the decision that's made, I don't think that's unduly harsh, because obviously, he does have his family settled back there. The last time they saw each other was when he left to go back to the States from Portugal in February when his sister was murdered, and they haven't seen each other since then.
I think we should refuse him entry, and I think we should refuse him entry as a visitor.
On the basis?
On the basis of the fact that he has few ties to his home country.
Yeah.
There are having some discrepancies between what he said about his relationship with the sponsor initially, having some discrepancies about what he said he was coming to do as well, because he didn't mention the wedding until later on. What about any compassionate circumstances that apply here?
He's obviously very upset, and you know he's been sort of close to tears and in tears throughout the interview, to be honest. His main concern was whether or not he's going to get to see his girlfriend. I don't think that there are compassionate circumstances that justify granting him entry into the UK, but there may possibly, just to allow him to see his girlfriend, if we're satisfied he's not going to abscond, to possibly grant temporary admission.
Temporary admission can be granted before a decision is made or after a decision is made. It's where we normally retain the passport and the documents, and it's where somebody is allowed outside on licence as such. They're not legally admitted to the United Kingdom, and they have to report back at certain times, and we would put a time limit on the temporary admission.
The compassion of the immigration officers means he will get 1 day to see his girlfriend. Then he must go back to Chicago. Officer Weatherall will hang on to his passport.
If you get the marriage visa, there's absolutely nothing stopping you coming back to get married here, okay? You're okay to go now. They're both on their way. Obviously, I think, you know, they're sort of unhappy with the decision, but happy to finally sort of be back together. I think we came to the right conclusion. Obviously, they didn't qualify for entry as a visitor. He didn't qualify for entry, so he was refused. But we've let them sort of have a day together so they can sort of see each other. When he applies for his marriage visa, assuming all's well, then he'll be sort of, you know, fine to come back here and they can get married and decide where they want to live. So that's the end of that for now.
In Calais, there's another frontline post for the border force. Clandestines trying to cross the channel illegally can also stow away in trucks heading for the Eurotunnel.
Right, sir, can you step down with your passport for me, please? You all clear?
But Officer Mark Atwell has an extra tool in his armoury to give him the edge.
What is this? It's a heartbeat sensor. It's connected to the machine which is just over in that cabinet there. What we do is we place this on a metal-to-metal contact surface within the vehicle. The machine will then try and detect any vibrations that are caused within the vehicle, either by people moving around or even by their heartbeat. It's quite a sensitive piece of kit.
With up to 30 trucks an hour coming through the search bay, it's not long before hearts are racing.
Brilliant, Lee, maybe another one.
Well, we've got high readings on the heartbeat, and this time it's actually come good. There's some people in the back. If you have a look at the readings, that's where you can sort of see that they're sort of true readings. They all look very similar.
That's a family group.
Oh, the two kids.
Family, no, it's your mum, dad, and child. Do you want them out or not?
No.
Oi! Stay there. Stay down there. Get down there now and stay there. You get down in there. Down in there. No. Yes, stay in there.
Officers won't let the clandestines out of the truck until they've moved it to a safe area.
We've got a family, looks like mother, father and child, possible Eritrean nationality, obviously concealed down at the front of the trailer. They're wrapped in foil to try and obviously prevent the CO2 detectors getting set off, but obviously using the heartbeat machine, obviously we found them that way.
We'll sort them out in there. I mean, they'll know they've been found here, and then we'll just move them out there, round to the left and into the deep search bay. And that's where we unload them, because we don't get them out in the lanes.
Get down, sit down, sit down. The problem we have with this particular nationality is a communication problem. We found them and they're obviously quite keen to get out of the vehicle as quickly as they can because it's quite uncomfortable inside. But obviously we've got a duty of care towards their health and safety, so we've got to make sure they're nice and safe while the vehicle's actually moving.
Keep him coming. Stop!
So this is sort of four?
Four so far.
Papers. You've got French papers? What was it?
4 people so far. I believe there's a 5th in there. But they're a bit agitated at the moment, so it's a bit of a delicate situation.
Back right hand corner, you reckon? One more!
Okay, I'm coming.
Where are you from? Where are you from? Stay there. You stay there.
No camera, you know?
You stay there.
Hey!
Stay there.
Hey! No! Camera!
Stay down. Stay down!
The man's anger at the presence of the camera is a concern to the officers.
Call the pack! Call the pack!
If ever there's a risk of danger, they withdraw and contact the French police.
We've got to think about our own safety and about the safety of illegal immigrants. So at that stage, we decided to withdraw out of the vehicle. We'll close the vehicle up and we'll call the people really in this area who know how to deal with it, which is the French police off Frontier de Path. They'll come in and they'll then now defuse the situation, hopefully.
I'm trying!
Come on. Go out. Close the door straight away.
To avoid further provocation, the TV crew stopped filming.
Come.
15 minutes later, unfolding events are captured on a camcorder. The clandestine climbs out of the truck. Officers can only look on, as in France it's not their policy to use their power of arrest.
One of them has got very violent and he was kicking and screaming in the deep search bay in the lorry. So much so that he climbed up to the top of the roof, cut himself out, and as he got up onto the roof, he sat on top, he was threatening to jump off, he was screaming, he was threatening our staff, and basically the other 4 have played up to him. And so now they've walked out of the deep search. There's nothing we could do about it, but they're walking so far away from us that they could just jump into another lorry and come through. Yeah, it's a really extreme situation.
The Eritreans are picked up by the French police and released outside the port area. Most clandestines rarely carry any form of identity to avoid being deported by the authorities. They're free to try again to make it across the channel. In the Isle of Wight, the enforcement team is on the move again. This time they've been tipped off that a hotel is employing illegal workers.
We've got a warrant for the premises. Is it possible to speak to the manager? Hi, it's immigration. If you'd like to step that way, we're going to have a word with you. Do you speak English? Hi there.
You work here? Oh, you work here, don't you? Yes. Can you come downstairs and speak to us? From immigration, we're speaking to everybody on the premises.
The team find 5 workers. Two of them from Swaziland, who have been in the country longer than they should have.
Your visa ran in November 07.
07.
07.
Yeah.
It's 2008 now.
Yeah.
Where is it you're studying? In?
I'm studying here.
Where are you studying?
In London. Usually
In London?
Yeah.
And where are we now?
I'm Isle of Wight.
On the Isle of Wight. So how are you studying in London? Pardon? You used to go there sometimes. Are you studying in London now?
At the moment I'm not in London.
You know you're not in London, no. Okay. We haven't got any record of either of your new applications. Two overstayers. They should have left the UK last year and the year before actually. So they overstayed, they're leaving the UK and we will be looking to remove them back to Swaziland.
The hotel is run by a husband and wife team. But the wife is away and has the key to the office safe, where one worker claims her documents are locked away.
And yes, what's your name?
Okay.
Do you can you spell that for me? Violet.
Violet.
You're living on the premises here. Okay, so you've got a room upstairs, have you? Yeah. So where is your passport in your room?
No.
So the manager's got it. Have you got any other form of identification?
Everything is in the office.
In the rooms?
No, in the office.
In the office? All right. So have you lived in Russia before?
Yeah, not quite easy.
Right. Have you ever had a Russian passport? No? You weren't born in Russia or anything?
Huh?
You weren't born in Russia?
My mom, it's...
Your mum's Russian, but you're Lithuanian.
Lithuanians are part of the accession state, so are entitled under certain circumstances to work and reside in the UK, exercise treaty rights. Russians are not. Russians are still a nationality that require permission to be in the UK and permission to work.
The officers need proof the woman is Lithuanian. She says her documents are in the safe, so they go to check her room. She doesn't seem to have a key to that either.
Oh, so this is your room, is it?
Yeah.
So where's the key?
It's in the office. It was in this board with one small teddy bear and the key sticks. I don't know. No,
it's on the big bunch of keys?
And this board, it was in the office.
Yeah. On the big bunch?
And that big board.
On the board?
Wait, there is one big board like that.
And it's not there now?
Here. So there is no, I don't know, maybe someone take it.
Okay, wonderful. Let's go back.
She's telling us that all her documents are in the safe. We can't access the safe. There's the issue of the lost key, which just seems a little too convenient when you tie it in with the whole nationality issue. So they're going to get into her room. We can't find the key. We've given her lots of opportunities to give us the key. We can't find it, so they're going to make a forced entry into the room, see if there's anything in the room that might establish either way. At the moment, that's the problem, is we can't establish one way or the other.
Stand on my bridge! Immigration!
There you go then. Coming in. Okay, we'll take your whole wallet actually. Have you got anything else in here
What about?
that might prove who you are?
Yeah, I'll show this account letters.
Okay. You haven't got a photocopy of your passport anyway?
Photocopies?
Yeah.
It's all photocopies they make for me and we take in the office. This is my sister.
Right, so that's all in the office as well. You've definitely got nothing else in here. You see, unfortunately, Violetta, if we can't prove who you are, you might have to come to the police station with us. Go on, there you go. We'll go back round the front. You can't prove to us who you are. Okay, so we can't prove you're Lithuanian. So I'm going to arrest you on suspicion of illegal entry, and we're going to go to the police station. Okay, you don't need to get upset. Okay.
No, but for what?
We can't prove 100% that you're Lithuanian. Okay. So we're going to arrest you now and take you to the police station, and we're going to sort it out there, where we can sort it out much easier. So I'm going to arrest you now on suspicion of illegal entry.
So good to go there.
She seems quite sincere, but there's too many cases where we come across, you know, they've been sincere and it's not the case. I mean, you need hard proof. You can't go on your feelings, really, unfortunately.
The woman is the fourth member of staff arrested. As the officers search her room more thoroughly, they find a Lithuanian passport after all. But it's not hers.
We've made a search, we've located a Lithuanian passport that's actually been reported stolen or lost in 2004.
The team also finds her genuine passport, proving she's from Moldova, which is not in the European Union.
That's the Moldovan passport. The Moldovan passport's actually expired now.
And also the visa inside it has expired, hence she was using the Lithuanian passport.
Immigration officer Steve Hassler has been helping to man the border at Terminal 3 for 2 years. He stopped a passenger from America who's come to London to do some teaching, but he doesn't have a work permit. As usual, his bags will be searched before further questioning.
Am I going to recognise anyone, am I?
No, I can recognise anyone.
No, OK.
This is not what he expected to find.
So how many you got altogether?
I think I've got about maybe 12 or 13.
So these are what, for the students and stuff, is it?
Yeah, they work on, we do it on television. And everybody gets a copy. And
okay.
learn how to do it.
So it's all pulls, no strings, eh? Okay, sir. Right, we'll pop them back in there now. We've seen them. It's not every day you have a bag search and you find 15 puppets in there. So clearly, it's more than just a holiday. You know, he's coming here to work. I mean, he's admitted much. You know, he's got his itinerary in there that we can have a look at. He's also mentioned that he's actually got a website about his tour to the UK. There you go. He's holding a UK tour. He's got 5 venues. People are going to be charged £59 per person to come in and to work with him in one of these workshops. So clearly, he's coming over here. He's making money. He doesn't have the work permit, unfortunately. Just want to take a seat. If I may ask you just to sit in the far corner. So why have you come to the UK?
Half vacation and half to teach my classes.
Okay. How much did they pay you?
They're paying me between £200 and £350 a piece.
Is that per workshop?
Per workshop.
Okay. The main premise of the work permit is that you are given a permit to come over and to work in the UK. Yeah. That's the problem that we have at the moment, okay? It's just a bit disappointing that not one of the colleges, while he's arranged to come over and teach, I've said to him, well, you actually need some sort of visa. Considering they'll get international students there all the time who have to have visas to study, I would have liked to have thought one of them would at least realise that he needed a work permit to come and teach. Apparently, yeah, he's got 4 Emmy Awards for work he's done on Sesame Street and the Muppets as well, so, you know. It'll be a bit disappointing when I have to tell him he's refused, you know, but we'll see. Anyway, we're going to refer it to the CIO, obviously, get his feedback on that, and we'll take it from there.
Officer Hassler knows the Chief Immigration Officer cannot let the puppeteer enter the UK without a work permit. But he may offer a compromise when it comes to the passenger's detention.
I don't think he's a case for the holding room, is he, really?
Not at all, no. I mean,
for temporary admission.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I was going to recommend, that we give him, you know, I don't know how long you wish to give him, 1 or 2 days. The first...
I think we give him till late tomorrow.
Well, there's a flight at 15:30.
Temporary admission will allow the passenger to come into the country only until his flight home the next day.
He took it quite calm, actually. I mean, I thought there would be a little bit more emotion there. If we were to let him in, then what's to stop us letting everyone in? You know, we've got to be fair to everyone. Yeah, in this instance, you do feel genuinely sorry for him. It's going to impact on him greatly, but you know, we've just got to do it.
In the Isle of Wight, the woman who claimed to be Lithuanian is starting to come clean about her background.
She said, my name is not by letter, it's actually Natalia. And she came out with the details, which we'd already ascertained from a Moldovan passport, which we suspected was her, and she just confirmed that.
Whereabouts were you born?
Moldova.
She's told us that she doesn't want to go back to Moldova, and the reason she's come over is because somebody was hurting her over there. She's obviously very, very upset about the whole situation. So we'll treat her nicely, we'll have a chat with her in a minute, and look to remove her back to Moldova.
I'm very sorry because I did lie there. It's right.
Let's get your tissue.
She's a sweet lady, actually, so you've just got to sort of detach yourself from it, really. At the end of the day, she's still an offender, just like everybody else who we come across. So we've got to treat her as such. Can't make any special allowances, unfortunately.
The woman will be sent back to Moldova. 2 workers are removed to their homelands, Swaziland and India. A 4th is given temporary release while a claim she is making about her human rights is decided.
Give me a call at any stage.
The hotel is fined £10,000. At Terminal 3, it's time to go back home for the quiet American teacher and his puppets.
Hello! I'm a monster, and I'm going back to the United States today, and I am very upset about that. Yes. I was going to teach the teachers how to use me for ESL, which means English as a second language, and also for therapy and all sorts of things like that. But of course, I'm not going to be doing that. Oh, it's so sad. Oh, it's so sad. All the kids that won't be able to laugh. Oh.
Every year, over 100 million people go through passport control to get into Britain. Most are welcome and legal. Many are not. For the first time on television, we go behind the scenes with the UK Border Agency, the men and women on the front line of the immigration service. Tonight, a hothead at Heathrow.
Send me back then. Just
we will
let
not do
something
that
happen.
without asking you further questions, and the only thing you can do is wait patiently.
Shouldn't they
because you and me talking like this is just delaying it, okay?
A marriage in India doesn't ring true.
An album with a picture of yourself or with somebody else is not evidence of living together. Do you have any documentary evidence?
Immigration, can you stop what you're doing, please?
And a raid in Liverpool ends in tears.
Back in mind, okay, you look upset, I'm going to place you in cuffs.
It's estimated that up to 1 million people live or work illegally in the UK. It's the job of enforcement teams to track those people down and remove them from Britain. Assistant Immigration Officer Adele Partington is part of a team in Glasgow preparing for a raid.
It's currently 6:10 in the morning, and we're all just getting kitted up, ready to go out and carry out an arrest team visit. It's part of the job, but you always still get a little bit of jitters. It wouldn't be normal if you didn't get any.
This morning, the team are about to pay a surprise visit on a flat where they believe illegal immigrants are living.
Police vehicle. First visit is to flat 21. Target of the visit is a Pakistani male. The intelligence for this visit suggests that Mr. Shah lives at the target address with 10 or 11 other Pakistani males. Some of the occupants allegedly have counterfeit documentation. The intention today is obviously to search for and arrest Mr. Shah and any other immigration offenders that we come across. Okay?
Thank you.
Well, the target is to locate and arrest the offender, but for this package, although it's listed only one offender, there's a possibility of 10 or 11 other people residing at the address. We could also be possible offenders as well, so they can be straightforward or they can be complicated. And until you actually get through the door, you don't know what you're going to find.
The flat is not far from the team's base. It's now 7 a.m.
Can you open the door, please? It's immigration, please. Not there, don't I? It's immigration and police. We've got a warrant to be here. Can you take us through to your living room, please? How many people are in the premises? Can you have a seat, please?
It appears the early visit has paid off. The occupants were still in bed.
Okay, so what's your immigration status here?
I'm indefinite.
Indefinite?
Permanent indefinite.
Do you have a passport? Okay.
It's in my wallet. Here inside the bag.
Okay, we need access to that door and that door.
Pakistani identity card.
You got keys?
There are only 2 people in the flat, but there are also 2 locked doors and no keys.
Right, if you don't have keys, we're going to knock the door in anyway, so it's up to yourself.
The intelligence that there are 10 people living here seems to be wrong, and the 2 men they've just found are both legal. But the kitchen window of this 3rd floor flat is open. Officers think someone has done the unthinkable.
Just had a jumper from the flat, and I reckon it's about 50 feet.
One of the occupants tried to climb down the drain pipe to escape. He lost his footing. He's managed to struggle to the dustbins at the rear of the building.
Did anybody else jump out?
One guy.
One guy. Where is he? Is he hurt?
No.
No? Where is he?
Other side.
Other side there?
We're on trying to find Dylan just now. I believe he's went over the fence here into the green area. So we're just having a look to try and find him just now.
The other man must have kept his grip when he climbed down, and now he's on the run. But his injured friend is losing consciousness.
You back my sport.
Support your back.
Ashley Pears has been with the Immigration Service for just over a year. This is her first serious incident.
Better?
Thank you.
Okay. Shahid, come on, speak to me.
She tries to keep the man awake until help arrives.
I know you're back, so try and stay calm. Okay, try not to move.
No, you're okay now.
The paramedics quickly decide they must get the man to a hospital.
Rescue boards.
They fear he has broken his back from the impact of the fall. In hospital, he's told his spine is fractured. When his immigration paperwork is complete, he'll be sent back to Pakistan. The runner remains at large. Terminal 3 at Heathrow is the main entry point for travellers from the Middle East, America, Asia and Africa. Officers have stopped a passenger from Johannesburg who's flown in on a tourist visa, but he doesn't have much money, so they suspect he may be here to work.
South African gentleman. Mm-hmm. He's a very solidly built South African gentleman.
Okay.
Put occupation, I think, as bodyguard
Right.
on his landing card, and he has apparently spent the recent months in South Africa doing a bodyguard training course. He may be looking for that kind of work in the UK.
Okay.
However, so far he's told us he's coming to visit a cousin.
Okay.
So that's all we've got so far.
Righto.
Immigration officer Lisa Lee investigates.
Is it Pavia? Pavier? How do you say your name, sir? Pavia. Would you like to follow me? I'm going to be dealing with you initially today, and then a colleague of mine will be taking over the case.
How long is this going to be?
As long as it takes, sir. Unfortunately, these things have a habit of taking quite a long time. There's lots of paperwork to do.
Something as stupid and simple as this.
This is immigration.
Yeah.
Nothing is stupid with immigration.
No.
If you'd just like to follow me, we need to take your photograph, okay, because that's standard procedure when we stop anyone, and then we need to place you in the care of our holding facility so that we can come back and talk to you in a more comfortable environment. Just follow me now.
You realise, but my point of view of this is...
If you have nothing to worry about, then everything will be fine, but we need to establish that before we can do anything else, okay? And the only way we can really do that is by sitting down and having a proper chat with you. All right then, so if you'd just like to follow me.
The passenger says he's here to stay with his cousin and help decorate the house.
It always arouses suspicion if somebody says they don't have a job and yet they're here on holiday. You kind of think, well, he's not from a wealthy background, he doesn't appear to have lots of savings. In fact, he says he has no savings. He's had to save to pay for his course. You know, it's just, is it credible that somebody with little money would come on a 5-week holiday? And that's what we need to establish. Thanks a lot.
While the bodyguard is detained, Officer Lee checks his story.
Is that all right? OK. Can you tell me why your cousin's coming to the UK today? The sponsor, the cousin, has just corroborated pretty much what the passengers said. they've got lots of decorating to do in their house. They've been trying to do their house up for 10 months, and he's just coming to help them decorate, which is odd, but hey, everyone has their way they want to spend their holidays. I understand you wanted to speak to me.
The holding room at Heathrow is hardly the best place to start a holiday. It's starting to annoy the bodyguard.
I can't tell you.
This is seriously me.
Okay, let me just explain.
This is unnecessary. If I was a criminal, if I did something wrong whatsoever, fine, do it, but not like this.
We're not suggesting for one moment you're a criminal, okay? You are seeking entry to the UK. Our job as immigration officers is to establish whether you qualify for entry, okay?
Don't insult my intelligence here. Send me back then.
We have to go through due process.
I'm this close taking my cigarettes and just out here to have a stupid cigarette.
Okay, well...
And it's not even the cigarettes problem, it's...
Right, well I can't help you with the cigarette thing, because you can't smoke in the airport. So I suggest you just...
Physically, nobody's going to stop me taking a cigarette out of the bag now.
You will be restrained.
I won't be able to, trust me.
Okay, if you're making threats, sir, we will call the police,
serious.
okay? Well, the police will be called and you'll be arrested.
Well, at least I'll have a cigarette there.
You won't be able to, because you can't smoke in police stations either.
So get somebody here right now.
Someone is coming to speak to you as quickly as possible.
It's more than 5 hours now I'm waiting. Do you see that as acceptable?
Okay. The only thing you can do, the only thing you can do is wait patiently.
It shouldn't take
because you and me talking like this is just delaying it. And that will, if that's
Controlling immigration isn't just about manning the borders. In 135 countries around the world, British immigration staff vet those who want to travel to Britain. In India, much of this work is done at the British High Commission in Delhi. At 7:30, visa applications are delivered under armed guard. Up to 1,500 are processed every day. Entry clearance officer Dan Brown has been seconded to Delhi for 3 years. He's one of 4 staff processing today's cases.
We're the first stage of the immigration control, and it's our job to maintain the integrity of the control. So we're trying to stop people travelling in the first place to the UK who've got no right to go there.
Some applicants need to come to the High Commission in person for extra checks. Officer Brown prepares to question a financial analyst whose figures don't add up.
Okay, this gentleman's applied under the old highly skilled migrant scheme, so it's now known as the points-based system. He sent his documents off to the UK to prove that he is a highly skilled migrant. He has to show that he achieved 75 points from his age, his qualifications and his previous earnings. And who completed your application form?
Sorry?
Who completed your application form?
Me.
And are the details on your form correct?
Yeah.
What did you get points for?
My graduation and my age.
And which college did you go to? Did you go to Osmania itself or to a different college?
Osmania itself.
When did you start at Osmania?
I think 1999, something like that.
Okay. And what subject was your degree in?
Sorry.
What did you specialise in for your degree?
Yeah, it's all right. Actually, it's a long time, so I can't remember.
Officer Brown records every answer, no matter how vague.
So you can't tell me what speciality you did your degree in?
It might be in accounting.
It might be. What do you mean might be in accounting?
No, I think it's in accounting and sector.
At Heathrow, the South African bodyguard is still being held. He's seen the end of one shift and the start of another. Officer Richard Smith picks up the case.
You've not been here before, have you? You've not been out of South Africa before?
No.
You're coming with very little funds.
Is that why, because of those things?
Well, these are the things that make us think that you're not a genuine visitor.
Okay. In my frame of mind, I'm just trying to explain, they should trust me because the innocence of the first time travel, and I'm not here to make
or do anything wrong or try to get work. Everything's right there. I understand now what you're saying.
Right.
That's what they're looking out for.
Okay. Have you understood?
It's just because I'm poor. I can't help it. I don't have money now.
With the interview over, the man won't have to wait much longer for a decision.
If your opinion is that we should give him the benefit of the doubt, there are aspects to his circumstances that aren't entirely satisfactory, but on the other hand, there are aspects to his case that are perfectly satisfactory.
I get the impression that he, at this moment in time, is not intending to stay and work. We've got your fingerprints on record. We've noted that you intend to go back on whatever it was in May, 18th of May, 17th of May. Okay, you've got a return ticket. Right, okay, okay. So, I'm happy that you're not intending to stay at this point. Don't change your mind within the next few weeks because you are now on record, okay?
Well, obviously, that was my point from the start.
Immigration's given him what they call entry with special conditions. If he stays beyond his return flight date, they'll be the first to know. For the 8,000 Indians a week who apply to come to the UK, it's not just a case of booking a ticket. Hopefuls must provide mountains of paperwork to the Visa Application Centre. Today is one of the busiest days of the year with the start of the summer rush. Visa applicants must pay a fee upwards of £65 and have a valid reason to travel.
So you have to look at the black camera, bigger one for 10 seconds on the top.
In 2007, they began storing mugshots and fingerprints of everyone who applies to help stop failed applicants trying again with false documents or false identities. On the other side of Delhi at the High Commission, fraud experts check each application. Among those ploughing through the paperwork today is visa assistant Bhavna Ganda.
Every day we receive forgeries with applications. It includes family visits and forgery with different kind of documents, let's say educational documents, graduation degree sometimes when we cross-check with the concerned universities and it came as false.
Officer Ganda is responsible for checking the documents of the man being interviewed by Officer Brown. It doesn't take long to arouse her suspicions. Osmania University in India is genuine. The certificate is fake. Now Officer Ganda wants to know more about his other documents.
This bank statement does not look genuine to me, and it's having a spelling errors. And then applicant has submitted a huge transaction, huge balance. Balance is very high. Right, sir, my name is Bhavna and I'm calling from the British High Commission, New Delhi. I would be very grateful if you could verify this bank statement for me. Sir, I would like to verify 3 things in this account. One would be who is the account holder's name. Second, it's part of
the bank confirms the man does have an account.
Yeah, because
as the balance is unusually high, Officer Ganda checks if the statement is genuine.
Could you tell me the transaction on 8/4/2008? There is a salary transfer of 45,000. So no transaction happened on 8/4/2008, right? Thank you, sir, so much. Okay, bye-bye, sir. Yeah. I got the written confirmation on this case from my bank manager.
Okay, what was the result?
It's forged. The
Like we
statement
thought.
produced by an applicant is false.
Okay.
And he has sent me an original bank statement.
And
So
this
I
is
just
the
want-
one
yeah.
from the bank, and it's not showing any of the salary deposits,
nothing.
so it totally doesn't match up.
So none of the transaction match with their records. It's all forged.
In the interview, the man is unaware that Officer Brown knows all about his fraudulent documents.
What do you do in India?
I work as a financial analyst.
What is your income?
It's around 45,000 per month.
Is that before tax or after tax?
It's after tax.
What is your salary before tax?
It's gonna be around 6 lakhs something. 6 lakhs
6
or
lakhs per
below
year?
6 lakhs, yeah.
If you were earning 6 lakhs per year and paying tax, you wouldn't take home 45,000 rupees per month. Can you explain this?
Yeah, actually, that's it's not the It's not the basic coming in. It's like all my overtime and everything.
So you don't declare your overtime on your tax returns, is that right?
You can't say that. But it's like it's all company technical things. Actually I don't know how they do that.
Sure.
Can I have a glass of water, please?
I'll get somebody to get you one.
All right.
Can you get him some water, please? Yes, please.
Officer Brown now makes his main move.
You have given us a bank statement.
Yeah.
Can you tell me the last transaction that is shown on your account?
I usually I don't like do all this bank statement and all. My wife usually take care of all these things, and she I just signed a check for a month. And
what day every month do you get paid?
I think 7th of.
Is that when the money goes into your account?
Yeah.
Okay. As part of your application process, we've checked your bank statement with the bank. The bank have told us that the statement you've given us is not genuine. Can you explain this?
Actually, I got no idea regarding these things.
Sorry?
I got no idea why they have sent that.
Can you tell us why you have given us a false document?
Actually, it's I don't have knowledge about this thing that is my fault.
But sir, it's your bank statement, it's your income, your name's on the bank statement.
I don't
and you have given us the application, you put in the papers.
Yeah.
Please tell me why you've submitted a false document.
I don't take care of these things. I just asked my wife to give me and she just put on.
So is it your wife that has given us a false document?
Might be because actually I'm not that much interested in going back. She is the one, she wants to be there for 2 years or so. So that's the only reason.
Okay, what I'm going to do now, obviously because you've submitted false documents, your application will be refused. I'll give you a letter to explain the reasons why the application's been refused.
All right, so you're going to give me all the documents right now? Or?
I'm not going to give you the false documents back now.
All right, are you going to give me my passport?
I'll give you your passport back.
Officer Brown tells the man to wait for his passport. Submitting false documents is a criminal offence. The police have been called. The financial analyst formulates a plan. He'll make for the exit. But the door from the British High Commission back into the streets of Delhi is locked. The financial analyst has nowhere to go. And now the police have arrived.
He's applied for a UK visa. He's given us bank statements and he's given us a degree certificate. And we have written confirmation that those are false documents.
Is it like that much a big crime that you're gonna...
The fact that you've put in false documents means that I can't, to be honest, I can't believe anything that you've told me. If you do make a fresh application, your application will automatically be refused. So you won't be issued a UK visa for the next 10 years.
For the next 10 years.
Okay, thank you.
The man was arrested, bailed and later charged with cheating and making false documents. He'll be unable to enter the UK for at least 10 years. Immigration officer Sean Flaherty and his enforcement team are planning to raid an Indian restaurant in Liverpool.
We've received intelligence to suggest that there are at least 6 foreign nationals working illegally at this premises. Our intention is to carry out an enforcement visit to the property to search for and arrest all immigration offenders and establish the immigration status of all those present. Illegal working is going on most high streets. It's virtual slavery. They're paid well below the minimum wage. They shouldn't be working, they shouldn't be in the UK.
The team has been keeping an eye on the restaurant. Now they're ready to pounce.
Immigration, can you stop what you're doing, please? Put everything down. Stop what you're doing, please. Put the knife down, please, sir.
An employer can be fined up to £10,000 for every illegal worker they hire.
Just follow the colleague round. The team are continuing to sweep the rest of the buildings and make sure that there's nobody either in the basement or in the other floors. Immigration! We're all setting them in the sterile area and then we're going to process them one by one.
Officers search the premises for any evidence that will identify the workers.
What we found is that the gentleman told us that he has some identification, so he's presented to us an asylum registration card. What we'll do for now is take some basic details, go through to the safe area, conduct some further checks, and then we'll see what's going to happen.
Just explain to her, we'll get you or another interpreter back on. There's nothing for her to worry about. She just wants to sit there while we do our checks.
This lady here, she's on a tourist visa, but she's obviously working in the kitchen. She's got the white apron on. She's going to be arrested now on suspicion of working in the UK illegally.
The names of the employees.
It's not the first time they've been here. The employer has been caught hiring illegal workers before.
They work here, just a couple of hours, or help me a couple of hours times.
How many days a week would you say?
About twice, 2 or 3 nights.
2 to 3 nights a week?
Yeah.
I will be speaking to you shortly about the status of your employees, okay, and your business. Okay, so if you don't mind just hanging on here for, it'll only be a short while.
Officer Flaherty and the team won't leave until they discover who is legal and who is not. At the British High Commission in Delhi, Officer Hassan Siddiqui is with a man he believes may have entered a sham marriage to get a UK visa. Jaswin Singh recently entered Britain illegally. That's when he met a British woman. Back in India, the couple have tied the knot. Now he wants UK residency.
Do you have any evidence of living together? An album with a picture of yourself or with somebody else is not evidence of living together. It's in here, right. Tell me exactly what it is that you have in here.
My bills.
Water bills. Sorry, council tax. This is dated 20. How old is your wife?
60. Now she's 60.
And how old are you?
35 now me.
Wife is 60 and I'm 35.
Waiting outside is the 60-year-old bride, a schoolteacher from Wales.
You've got a lot of photographs having spent time together. Do you take these photographs for the benefit of this interview?
नहीं जिदा ही फोटो खिंचने का बहुत शौक है मेरी वाइफ को वो जदों भी
My wife is very fond of taking photographs.
I've noticed that none of the photographs have anyone that I could assume is her friend, because all of the people in these photographs all seem to be other Asian males of your age. Can you explain why, and have you ever met any of her friends?
मैं इन्हां दी बेस्ट फ्रेंड ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਗਿਲਨ name is Glennis.
Yeah. I met her best friend, her name is Glennis.
Why have you chosen to marry somebody who is slightly older than yourself and has 2 grown-up children who I'm assuming doesn't speak Punjabi, and I've noticed that your level of English is relatively basic. Is there any particular reason that you've chosen to marry this lady?
नहीं ਹੋਰ कोई वजह नहीं सी जिदा प्यार मेरा पै गया जिदा इकट्ठे रहंदे सी किसी भी उम्र च
I fell in love with her and there was no other reason to marry her.
Mr. Singh may say he's in love, but it takes more than that to qualify for residency. And his Welsh wife has yet to be quizzed. At the restaurant in Liverpool, it's not looking good for the owner. The enforcement team has doubts about another member of his staff.
Well, just at the moment, I'm just asking the gentleman some very basic details about the identity that he's presented me, and roughly how long he's been in the UK, maybe what his status is. How long have you been in the UK?
I think 2 years, 3 years.
2, 3 years. What's happened with your application?
Sorry, I can't understand.
The application finished?
I can't understand.
Are you speaking Sorani?
Yeah.
Kurdish? Okay.
The team can call on interpreters when language becomes a barrier.
Sorani, so how much does he actually get paid for working here?
Straight through, Sean.
هي 2 ساعات الدفع والهرب. نعم 2 ساعات 6 ساعات يشتغل.
The employees we're currently dealing with, thank you. You've got some paperwork.
Yes, sir. £10 per day. Can you ask him what documentation he showed his employer that he was allowed to work?
Yeah.
Hello.
Sorry about
No.
The owner pays no tax or national insurance for this worker and gives him only a fraction of the minimum wage.
Do you want to come with me? I'm just going to check your fingerprints, okay?
The team wants to find out the worker's status in the
My
UK.
finger. No, this one.
They scan his fingerprints and send them for analysis to a national database. The results will come back in minutes.
Left one. Do you have any evidence that they have right to work in the UK?
I asked them for their insurance number and all these things.
Right.
I'm just going to give you a quick search around your headdress, okay?
The lady, Faheen Anjum, she was found working in the kitchen.
She only came today. We're not working in such.
She was in the kitchen.
She was in the kitchen, but she doesn't work here.
She was wearing an apron in the kitchen.
In the kitchen, she might be just trying to make some nana for or something like that. I don't know.
For who?
Maybe I was not here, so I cannot answer the question.
So she wasn't working. She may have been making naans.
The fingerprint results confirm the worker is from Iraq and is here illegally.
Ismail, listen, I know you're upset me, okay? This is going to have to be done, okay? Ismail, I'm arresting you on suspicion of working illegally in the UK, okay? You're not obliged to say anything which you wish to do so, but it may harm your defence if you don't mention when questioned something which you later on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Okay, Ismail? For your safety of mind, okay, you're a little bit upset, I'm going to place you in cuffs. Do you want to put your hands out in front for me? Put your hands out in front. Thank you. Good night.
It's okay. At the end of the day, he's led them to this. He's employed them illegally. He's put us in a position now where we've got to arrest him and put him in a police cell. This is a real cost of illegal working. People in tears, whether it's illegal people like this or legal people who sometimes the businesses go to the wall because some individuals undercut them by thousands. You know, it all ends in tears for somebody. Unfortunately for these people tonight, if they didn't taste them, they're going to end up in the night in the cells at the very least. So yeah, I'm going to go back in there now. I'm going to tell him about a penalty. He's facing a fine of £10,000 per person. At the end of the day, you haven't done your adequate checks. You've employed people illegally, which resulted now in 2, possibly 3 people being arrested. We have people now detained in the back of the van who I need to get to the police station. If you want to sign it, sign it. If you don't want to sign it, I'll leave it and record it that you haven't signed.
Without the passport of the woman found working in the kitchen, it's harder to prove that she shouldn't have been there. But help is at hand.
You're the brother-in-law? Right, sir. So she's over here with a passport and etc. Would you be able to get hold of that passport for us? Have you got it here? Yeah, I've got to have a passport. Can I have a look, please? Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, it will be. Let's grab it from him.
Excellent.
The woman's relative claims this was her first time at the restaurant. She was only there to learn how to cook.
Unless it's a very, very unfortunate night where she picks the only night that we visit to be learning how to make a curry in the kitchen.
That's very unfortunate.
It is very unfortunate. Or perhaps it's not the first night that she's been in the kitchen.
I'm sure. She just arrived. We can see that.
Well, I know she arrived 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. So I mean,
but it is very unfortunate.
The enforcement team don't believe her. She is removed back to India. The man from Iraq was also sent back home. The employer is fined £20,000. In Delhi, it's the turn of the Welsh bride to be interviewed. She must convince the immigration officers the marriage is genuine, or it will be the end of the couple's dream to set up home in Wales.
Hello, Evelyn Rita. Thank you.
How are you? You all right? Everything good?
Okay, I'm nervous.
Yeah, understandably. Everybody who sits on that side of the chair always is. How are you finding living in Punjab?
It's absolutely amazing. I truly embraced India even before I came here. I'd had lots of videos sent over, so I was able to watch all those, and I knew everybody by sight before I met them. So that was nice, and
How do you think they've reacted in regards to, you're from the UK,
yes,
and you don't speak Punjabi. How's the interaction?
Well, they're very loving towards me, and they were very accepting of me from the very beginning, even when we were talking and laughing and saying Sasri Akal on the phone and, things like that.
So tell me a little bit about how both you two met in the UK.
I was out walking my dog on the beach and on the breakwater, and I saw Jas sitting on his own, and I thought I just said hello, and he said hello, and he smiled at me with his gorgeous smile, and I thought, oh, he's rather gorgeous, but he's very young. Slowly, we got to know each other, and I helped him with his English, and we just clicked. We clicked straight away.
How did you decide to get married? What was who made a decision? Did he propose?
Well, it wasn't a romantic. It wasn't a romantic setting at all. I think we were in the kitchen, and we probably, because he's been showing me Indian cooking and how to make chapatis and things like that. So we probably, I think it was, had a meal and sat down, and he said, "Do you think you would like to marry me?" So I said yes. I said yes, definite.
Okay, great. What would you do if there's a scenario where unfortunately your sponsor doesn't get entry clearance and cannot join you in the UK? Are you happy to stay in India? You do like it a lot here, you know his family.
I like it a lot here, and I know his family, but all my family are in the UK. My dog and my house and my home and my 2 boys. So really, living in India isn't an option for me.
What are you going to do? Because if we refuse entry clearance, are you going to stay or are you going to go back?
Well,
that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. I haven't thought about that, to be honest, because I thought, I thought because it's genuine relationship and we love each other and we want to be together, that we might be lucky enough to get a visa. And that's honestly the only answer I can give you.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm not going back without him, all right?
The immigration team in Delhi process up to 1,500 visa applications every day. Officer John Spence is a key member of the team. It's his job to investigate whether applications are credible.
Rahul Jain, counter 4, Rahul Jain.
Rahul Jain is applying for a 2-year working tourist visa. He must prove tourism is the main reason for his trip.
Okay. How long do you intend to stay in the UK?
England में आप कितनी देर रहना चाहते हैं?
Ma'am, 2 years.
What do you intend to see and do in the UK?
भी famous palaces हैं, वो देखना चाहता हूँ.
Such as?
कौन से?
Birmingham Palace and Tower Bridge.
Okay, what's Buckingham Palace and why do you wish to see it?
बहुत फेमस है वहाँ पे, तभी मैं देखना चाहता हूँ.
Belongs to the old kings and it is worth seeing and I want to see it.
So, why can you only name me 2 places that you wish to see in the UK, one of which is not the correct name, and one of which you can't describe to me what it is?
Officer Spence types up every answer to provide a record of the evidence.
When I go on holiday, I know exactly what I want to see. If I came to India, I'd say I want to see the Taj Mahal, I'd say I want to see the Golden Temple. Why can't you tell me what you want to see in the UK?
मैडम वो बात ठीक है, मगर जो सी लंदन जो इंग्लैंड सिटी है वो सबसे ज़्यादा फेमस है.
England is very famous and there are many places to see there.
Okay, you've been offered a job. Doing what?
और मुझे किचन असिस्टेंट की जॉब दी है उन्होंने ताकि मैं अपना घूमने फिरने का खर्चा अफोर्ड कर सकूं.
For the job of an assistant so that I can cover my expenses.
Officer Spence has heard enough to make a decision.
I'm not satisfied that you want to enter the UK for a working holiday as you have claimed, or that you plan to leave the UK at the end of your stay. The only thing you have managed to plan is a part-time job, and that suggests for me that it is your intention to take full-time employment rather than to go to the UK for tourism. I mean, he has to show that the primary purpose of his visit is for tourism. I'm afraid that this chap hasn't done so. This chap knows only 2 things to tell me about the UK, one of which is Buckingham Palace, which clearly doesn't exist. The other is Tower Bridge, and I'm not absolutely certain he knows what that is. My suspicion, frankly, is that this chap is going to go there to the UK to work for 2 years at a markedly reduced rate than employing the same person in the UK would cost his sponsor. No redeeming features at all, as far as I can make out. A completely straightforward refusal.
Bad news for the would-be tourist. But will the newlyweds do any better?
I need a hug. I need hugs. Oh, this is huge for us because I don't want to go back to the UK without my husband. When you love someone and you're used to being with them, that's very difficult.
It's not easy for Officer Siddiqui either. He consults his boss, Alex White.
Do you have any concerns about the relationship at all?
Well, there is a significant age difference, and you know, it's open to, well, you know, interpretation here, but I cannot, from the immigration rules, say that this is not a genuine marriage, and I can't.
Satisfied the relationship subsists?
Well, I can be as satisfied as I can be on paper, and from the interview, I can't really say what's inside someone's heart.
I do realise it's a bit of a sensitive area and it is subject to exploitation, but given the information you've given me, I think we're going to have to issue the visa.
Okay, let's do that, let's do that. I'll go and tell them right now.
All right, thanks.
Bye. Hi, have a seat, please. Please have a seat.
Thank you.
Having assessed the application and referred it, we've decided to issue entry clearance, and we're going to basically ask Jasmine to undertake a medical check before we issue the visa. So that may take a little while, and I hope you have a long, fruitful marriage.
Apart from when I had the children, this is the happiest day of my life, and a really good start for both of us.
I hope your happiness lasts.
So, how do you feel? Very excited and happy and just so thankful, and that they believed us and our story is 100% true, and now we can do all the things that we planned to do, can't we? We're going to teach Jas to drive in the UK and study and learn more English. Well, it just means everything. It's our future, and I know we'll have a good future together.
Jaswin and his wife are now back in the UK, living together in Wales. Every year, over 100 million people go through passport control to get into Britain. Most are welcome and legal, many are not. For the first time on television, we go behind the scenes of the UK Border Agency. The men and women on the front line of immigration. Tonight, dreadful working conditions in Middle England.
How did you enter the UK? In a lorry.
The passenger at Heathrow with a belly full of trouble.
There is something in his bowel.
And panic on the streets of London.
Get his hands, get on the front. Get on.
The United Kingdom has a population of over 60 million. Despite the border controls at Britain's entry points, it's estimated there are up to 1 million illegal immigrants living and working in the country. It's the job of the enforcement teams to find these people. One of their latest methods is to go out on the streets and stop anyone they think looks suspicious.
It's an immigration-led street operation at North Greenwich Station, basically looking at the public and anyone reacting to our presence, and thus we'll be stopping them and asking them their immigration status.
Today, immigration officer Vicky Lacey and her team are hitting North Greenwich Tube Station, where they will stop and investigate anyone they suspect of committing immigration offences.
The whole idea of having arrest-trained immigration officers on the street is still very new, and I don't think the majority of the public are aware of our role and what we are doing.
Hello, sir. I'm from the UK Border Agency. Can you tell me what country you come from?
Right. What did you say your wife's name was?
Are you lawfully in the country? Are you lawfully present in this country? Yeah. What permission have you been given to stay in this country? You have EU. How did you get EU national? Because you were married to, or you are married to. EU national. You're married to an EU national. Where's your wife from? France. From France. Where's your wife now? I was in France. Right. Can you just have a word with my colleagues, please? Can you stand over here for us?
Hey, stay right up! Stay right there! Come on! Stay right up! Stay right there!
Got a runner.
Stop struggling! Please, stay on the front. Excuse me. Stop! It's not a criminal. No, move away. It's not a criminal. It's not a criminal. I'm not a criminal. No. I'm not going to move away. That's a camera there. It's not a criminal. Move away. Don't touch me. Go and control your borders, not a station. People are carrying knives on the street. You're not patching them. People are trying to make life better for themselves.
We're under arrest for suspicion of entry on the UK on an immigration offence. You do not have to say anything, but it may on your defence if you do not mention when questioned something too late relying in court. Anything you do say, maybe give me an evidence. Do you understand that?
Okay, there's no response.
I have to shout because I'm paying. You guys come to Africa, do whatever you want to do. Don't talk to me like that. What do you mean? Don't talk to me. I'm not a criminal. I'm only talking about rights.
Tell me why you ran.
Sorry?
Why did you run? If you're not a criminal.
I was catch my boss.
You catch your bus. You're good. Yeah, okay.
Criminal.
Shuffle back, and lean against the wall.
I beg your pardon. For what? Hold on. Calm down. What's the problem? Relax. What? What's that for? Put your hand. No. Give your hand. Give your hand now, boss. I will use this on you, yeah? Put your hand down.
The guy was getting very aggressive, hands in my face. If I didn't do something then, he could have ended up hitting me. I don't get paid enough for that. Where's my guy that I've nicked now?
Officer Lacey is with the man who tried to stop the arrest.
Do you know that guy? You don't know him? Right, okay. Next time you see someone having a little altercation, if you don't know the reasons behind it, don't get involved, okay? We'll let him go now, take his details and send it off to the local police station. We obviously created a lot of interest from the public. Some people giving us a round of applause, other people thought it was morally wrong, but we're here to do a job, so we do what we're told to do.
Officers questioned the suspected illegal immigrant who tried to escape.
No. Because you ran away from us. We told you we were and you ran away from us. All right? Is that the reason why? That's the reason why you're under arrest. Oh, God. All right, once if you can establish to us who you are and if you've got a legitimate reason to be in this country,
then we'll let you
you'll be released.
This is, I don't know. I don't understand.
Well,
might have taken to the van. Is that the runner?
Yeah. Got the keys.
Keys as well.
I'm just going to put you in here, yeah?
Man, this is not fair.
Stand, mind your head, mind your head, yeah?
Front left-hand seat.
Front seat, left-hand side. If he was running from the police would do the same thing. We have to do the same thing. Now question him again to find out his identity and his status.
Do you know what he's got? I'll show you what he's got, mate. You're married to a French girl. All right, well, first of all, what I'm going to do is find out whether that story's correct, yeah? All right, and then we'll take it from there.
This guy tried to run away from the scene, so we want to just check his details.
The gentleman was given 5 years to remain in the country because he was married to a French national, but we think that has now expired, his EU residency.
Expiry 25th of October 2005 for that application. It extended the condition, but it expired in 2005.
So he's an overstay.
Yeah.
As the man should no longer be in the UK, a date has been set for his return to Nigeria. He has since appealed against this, and his case is yet to be heard. Heathrow is the world's busiest international airport. The immigration teams are often given advance warning of travellers who may have something to hide. Chief Immigration Officer Matt Dyson has just received some intelligence about a passenger expected from Miami. He's put Officer Lisa Lee on the case.
The records show he has been issued 2 British passports in the last 7 years in this identity.
Yep.
But
okay.
a Jamaican national submitting the same photographs, in other words, would have been with the same person, was landed as a visitor in a different identity in 2001.
All right then.
Okay, if I give you this,
Yep.
it's background information.
Okay.
The Miami flight has landed, and Officer Lee takes up position, ready to stop the Jamaican man with the suspected fake passport.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir. Hello, sir. How are you today?
Good. It's the passenger she's been waiting for.
Where do you live in the UK, sir?
In Bristol.
Okay, sir. I just need to have a quick look at your passport, okay?
I've been going through for the past 3 days.
Oh, have you? Okay. Won't take a minute.
No problem. That's
all
the
right.
same thing I went through in Miami.
Oh, did you? Oh, dear. It's not your lucky travel then, is it?
Officer Lee plays it cool. She doesn't want the man to think this is anything more than a routine check.
Have you been there on holiday?
I was in Trinidad first.
Trinidad first, Barbados. You've had a long journey then, haven't you?
The passenger's trip to London via Trinidad, Barbados and Miami has taken nearly 3 days.
Okay, so what I'd ask you to do, please, just for a moment, can you just take a seat down there for me, please? And we'll be back with you as soon as possible, all right?
Where is he at the moment?
He's just sat over there.
Okay, I don't want him unattended at any length of time.
Okay.
So if we're going to go straight down now, let's go straight down now.
Yep.
After that, I want him fingerprinting photograph and I want him in the holding room.
Okay, no problem. I'll do it as soon as we come back up.
Thanks.
We're just going to go down and have a look through your bags then, all right?
If he's obtained British passports fraudulently, it's actually quite serious. That's a prosecution matter. We may just look to refuse and remove, because that might be the more sensible option. But again, we can't make a call on that until we find out what's going on.
His route to London is one often used by drug traffickers. It makes Chief Dyson suspect there may be more to this case than just a fake passport.
I'm also a bit concerned that he might be involved in other activities, and a good check in customs would give us a bit of a pointer on that one.
A good check starts with his luggage.
Do you have a ticket?
Because of the serious nature of this investigation, they've brought in a customs officer to conduct the search. Finally, the customs officer finds something. The passenger is carrying too much booze.
Point out you are 1 litre over your allowance, but because you've been delayed here, it's a gesture of goodwill to let you take that. Pleasure, sir. All right.
What next, sir?
Okay, you'll come follow me back upstairs, sir. Nothing found in the bags. They've swabbed them, nothing. No evidence of carrying drugs or having had them in his bags recently.
The passenger's bags may be clear, but there is still the matter of his passport.
What we need to do is just check the background of your passport.
What is the problem?
The problem is we just need to check into the background of your passport, that's all, as I explained to you. Just general inquiries, all right? And just
Again, Officer Lee is careful not to arouse his suspicion that this is anything more than routine. She goes to see her boss for an update.
I've spoken to prosecution unit. They want to prosecute.
Okay.
In this case, so we need to keep our input to a minimum.
To a minimum.
They're going to want details recorded, file making up, and then they're going to get him arrested.
Okay.
So they're going to arrange for some uniforms to come over and take him away.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
The man will be arrested for having a false passport. But Officer Lee doesn't want to tell him just yet.
What's going to happen now is I need to take your fingerprints. Okay? All right. The sooner we get it done, the quicker we can get on.
Next, Officer Lee will take the investigation further. A medical check.
Okay, sir, can you follow me? Because we just need to get you looked at by our doctor. Because we're holding you up, we need to make sure you're fit and healthy. He's going to have to go to the Port Medical Inspector for an X-ray to check that he hasn't swallowed anything. Customs didn't have enough grounds to do an intimate search or an X-ray. Because we're detaining him, we have to make sure he's medically fit. So we do have the authority to take an X-ray. Right, thank you. Come with me, sir. PMI have just X-rayed him. Yep. There is something in his bowel.
It looks like the Jamaican will be here for some time. 7 a.m, deep in rural England. An enforcement team have received intelligence that there may be illegal immigrants working at a spring onion farm.
Apparently there are up to 15, 20 nationals, all kind of different nationalities. Apparently possible Iraqi, Indian, Romanians working there. We'll just see what's there when we arrive, really. Come with me. Yep. The rest of you could head that way and start sweeping through.
The 18-strong team split up, hitting 2 buildings where the suspected illegals are working.
Stop what you're doing, put everything down, please. So from immigration, we've come just to need to do a few checks. Does anyone speak English?
Morning, people. Going to need you all to stop what you're doing at the moment because we need to speak to you regarding your immigration status. Anybody got any ID with them? ID? Driving licence? Bank cards? No? Basically, this is a warrant that allows us to come in to your property.
Yeah.
Okay? And speak to your employers.
Yeah.
Okay? That's for you.
How did you enter the UK?
No, I can ring it out in lorry.
In a lorry?
You 2 sisters?
Yes, sisters, simple.
It looks like.
How long have you been in the UK for?
7.
Sorry?
7th
7th year.
I got arrived here 5 years ago.
Overstayed as far as I'm aware.
Overstay. Illegal entrance. He's a legal entrance. Yeah.
£130 she received last week. कितने घंटे वास्ते कितने दिन काम करते?
6 दिन.
Working 6 days a week. They are being paid £135 for a 40-hour week, which I reckon, top of my head, could be wrong, is about £3.75 an hour, which is obviously a couple of pounds below the national minimum wage.
This is no straightforward matter. The workers are not being employed directly by the farmer, but through an agency.
They're claiming that they work for a company that's an employment agency and does wage slips to prove so.
Obviously there is a lot going on with regards to gang masters and forced labour and things like that. They're being quite coy about where they live, saying that the people in the vans pick them up in the morning, bring them to work. So they probably don't earn an awful lot, if anything, but they will work for their accommodation. So somebody's basically forcing them to work here.
It's horrible coming out to a job like this where you see that they're working long hours for little money in conditions that you wouldn't want to keep animals in, really.
But the conditions are relatively poor. It's mud underfoot and pretty horrible outside. They have to work in this unheated room which is leaking profusely.
We're poor back home, and that's why I've come over. We've sold our house and had to sell our land to get here.
They're not criminals, they're here because they want to better themselves, they want to better their lives. We understand why they do it. If I was put in the situation where I had to feed my kids, and I would do exactly the same thing.
Although employment regulations are being broken, the enforcement team's job is to identify and remove illegal workers.
We believe that you're illegally present in the country, so I'm now arresting you on suspicion of entry without leave.
I understand.
Okay, this gentleman and this lady have both been arrested on suspicion of entry without leave. This gentleman has told us that he's entered on the back of a lorry 4 or 5 years ago, and this lady, pretty much same story.
Arrived here 3 months ago as a visitor through an agent. ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਜਨਮ ਦਿਨ ਦੀ ਤਰੀਕ ਆਪ ਪੇਸ਼ ਹੋਏ ਸੀ 15 to 51 date of birth.
The couple are in fact overstayers, but they have passports, valid passports, at their home address. So the process we'll do now is we've asked if we can go back to their home address to find their passports. They're happy with that, so we're actually going to return them to their home address now, take them back there, find the passports, and they can get on a flight and go home.
Basically, they've both arrived on visit visas, which were valid for 6 months in 2007, and they've overstayed since then.
Of the 20 people working here, 17 were found to be illegal immigrants. Most have been temporarily released, while papers needed to remove them are prepared, and others have absconded, their whereabouts unknown. Only 2 have so far been removed from Britain. The agency that supplied the illegal workers was fined £85,000. In London, the enforcement team, led by Officer Shane Healy, prepare for another street operation.
We're going to Stratford station. Once I deploy you on the scene, the spotters will observe the passengers embarking and disembarking, and any individuals who draw themselves to the attention of officers by acting, for example, nervously or acting in an odd or inappropriate manner, will be approached by the officers and questioned regarding their immigration status. OK, then, if we can go to the vehicles now.
Enforcement teams have been running street operations since 2006. The London team carry out up to 3 each week. It's the morning rush hour. Each day, almost 100,000 people pass through the transport links here at Stratford in East London. As commuters rub shoulders with each other, there are some who hide a secret from the authorities and have no legal right to be here. Today's enforcement team has the difficult task of finding them.
We'll have a team here who will interview people who bring themselves to our attention, and we'll determine their status. If they're unlawfully present, they'll be arrested and either taken to immigration detention or to a local police station for further interview.
These type of operations, we don't go away with an empty van, if you like. You know, there's always somebody. You'd be surprised the number of people that we do come across on these type of operations.
2 members of the team act as spotters, watching the crowds. Officers have the legal right to stop and question anyone reacting nervously to their presence.
Hello, you all right? We're from the Immigration Service.
Yes, boss.
Yes, how you doing? You all right? From the Home Office? Yeah. From quite a distance, he's noticed us. And he shuffled to the left, shuffled to the right, shuffled to the left. I shuffled to the left, he shuffled to the right. He looked at my warrant card. We're from the Home Office Immigration. Asked him where he's from, he said he's from Pakistan. I asked him if he's got a visa. No visa? All right, come with me then.
As the man has admitted he has no UK visa, he's questioned further by arresting officer Littington.
But how long have you been in this country? How long? 3 months. Where are you living? Kebabish. Above the Kebabish on Green Street? Okay. Do you work at the Kebabish? Yes. You work at the Kebabish?
All right. Are you going to work?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Have you got any ID on you?
Eh?
Identification?
Indian, yeah?
Yeah. You Indian? Yeah. Have you got a visa to be in the UK? All right, can I talk to you over there then, please? Yeah?
Many of the people stopped can only speak broken English, but some officers are able to interpret.
He explained he's been handcuffed because he's in an open area.
अभी खुली जगह में है इसलिए इन्हें आपको
He doesn't have to say anything, but it may harm his defence. He doesn't mention when questioned something.
With the man having confessed to living and working illegally in the UK, the team have their first arrest and another suspect to question.
He's now being questioned in Hindi because he speaks Hindi, hence my colleague here who speaks Hindi is taken over the questioning at this point to establish exactly how he came in and when, so we can work out where we go from here.
He's admitted that he came into the UK a year ago. He came from Belgium in the back of a lorry. He paid an agent some €3,500 to get here, and he's admitted that he's here illegally.
You're under arrest. Okay, I'm arresting you on suspicion of being a illegal entrant in the United Kingdom. Okay, you understand that? You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something you later rely on in court. Anything you say may be given in evidence. Okay, you understand that? All right. Okay. Do you want to take your bag off? Yeah. Okay. All right.
Just going to search your bag. Okay?
What have you got in your pockets?
Anything that relates to his identity and nationality. Anything might indicate where he lives. Basically identification.
So that's your friend's bill?
Yeah.
That's not you?
He'll go to India.
Your friend's gone back to India?
Yeah.
Okay. Why have you got this? Why do you have this? Why have you got this?
No, I am pay bill.
You're going to pay it for him?
Yeah.
And there's more incriminating evidence.
You know you shouldn't have this.
You shouldn't have someone else's bank card. He's my friend, he hasn't got my bank card.
He's got a bank card in there which is in a different name to what he's given us. He's stating that it's his friend's, but he shouldn't be walking the street with somebody else's bank card in his property. Okay? Okay. All right? All right, you come with me.
Yeah.
Do you want to let them know we're coming up?
Yeah.
With 2 arrests in the first hour, it looks like it will be a busy morning for the enforcement team. Heathrow has seen its fair share of drug smugglers over the years. And even while airport detection systems around the world are improving, there are still those who like to try their luck.
Where do you live in the UK, sir?
This man came into Heathrow on a suspected false passport, but the immigration officers had a hunch that he was a drug trafficker.
What we've got here again is, you can see here, I think that's a little cluster actually because of the viewpoint.
Yep.
Over here, here, and here, very, very tiny.
Yeah, there's one there, look, as well.
Yep, this area here is excess gas which is being produced by holding this stuff.
An X-ray taken at the airport reveals the man had suspicious packages in his stomach.
The doctor is 99% sure that the objects in the passenger's lower intestine are foreign objects. So the officers from Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs are going to go and speak to him now. Mr. Martin, would you come out, please?
Now, the doctor feels that there are foreign objects in your body system. We have no alternative, I'm afraid, and I'm arresting you on suspicion of being involved in the importation of a controlled drug. I must caution you that you do not have to say anything, but if you fail to mention when questioned something that you later rely on in court.
Because this is not a unique occurrence here at Heathrow, Customs have installed a special drugs toilet that will collect the evidence.
Once we've identified smugglers with packages of drugs concealed internally, we escort them to facilities like this. They sit on the toilet area up there. They pass the packages through.
Then we'll switch the water on and we will generally clean the packages like that. We put the packages in the jar
and then these are secured away as evidence.
If he's found to be smuggling drugs, then it's a whole new ballgame. He'll enter a kind of a different area of prosecution, and that will take the lead, particularly if he's swallowed them, because there's a health risk there. So he'll be observed by customs until he passes them.
During the course of the day, after 2 sittings, 96 packets of cocaine were recovered.
I would imagine there was a sense of relief though, because he knew he'd been found out. He knew there was no escape, and he probably just thought, I want to get rid of what's in there, because who knows what could have happened to him if one of them had burst or something.
If just one of the packets had burst, it would have been enough to kill him. The man pleaded guilty to drug smuggling and travelling on a false passport. He was sentenced to 6.5 years in prison, after which he will be deported back to Jamaica. At Stratford Station in East London, immigration officers Williams and Healy are questioning a Nigerian man.
You just going to work now?
Yes.
The man first told them he had a work visa, but now claims he has indefinite leave to stay in Britain.
You had a visa?
Yeah.
Okay. What was the visa for? Do you remember? What kind of visa?
What kind of visa?
Yes.
What do you mean by what kind of visa?
See, if you're telling the truth,
Yeah.
you'd know the answer to that. There's different sorts of visas, and you know what you applied for. It must have been quite a big occasion you come into the UK, so you know what visa you applied for. So you obviously didn't, did you?
No,
I don't know if you want to start thinking again about what you've told us, because at the moment nothing's making any sense, is it? Do you think your story sounds good? Do you think your story sounds credible?
No, it's up to you, because I want you to believe what I said to you.
It's up to you to prove to me that you're legally in the UK. I don't have to prove anything. You have to prove to me that you're legally here.
Like how?
Well, exactly. You walk about with no identification on you whatsoever. You tell me you've got a work visa, then you change it to indefinite leave.
The officers are not getting any straight answers, so they try to track the man down on the immigration database. But for this, they need his date of birth.
Yeah. What's your date of birth?
1984.
It says 1984.
Yeah.
Let's think of some days as well, shall we? Months?
No, he's not sure. What's your date of birth? Come on.
It's 1984, but
You can't remember your date of birth?
It's the day you get all the cards.
84.
I'm a lot older than you, and I can still remember my date of birth.
Yeah.
How can you not know your date of birth?
How old are you?
Yeah.
How old are you?
How old am I?
Yes.
It's 1984.
Yeah, well, how old are you? No, we have no trace of you. We have no trace of that name at all.
Of his name. No traces. No.
It means that nobody with that name and that date of birth has got indefinite leave.
That's what you mean.
That's what it means. So do you want to change what you're saying now?
Like how? What do you want me to do?
Well, what I want you to do is tell the truth, because if you had indefinite leave, you'd be on our system, wouldn't you? So why don't you give me your real details, then we can make a decision on what's going to happen next.
I don't know.
You do know?
Okay.
Can I write your real name, real date of birth? At the moment, you're giving no options at all, are you? You are going to be arrested, you carry on.
No. No, I'm not going to be arrested. No.
Some people are using so many identities that they do trip themselves up and they get confused and don't remember who they're supposed to be today. And, you know, if you're going to use different identities, then I suppose you are going to get slightly confused now and again.
Realising he's being caught out, the Nigerian finally explains his reasons for being in Britain.
To be honest with you, this is the reason I came to this country, this name. And I came to play volleyball.
And you overstayed?
Yeah.
Why didn't you go back?
Yeah, because when I finished playing, the church needs me, I charity. So I was here doing the charity work.
That sounds honest. When did your visa expire? When were you supposed to go back?
It's 6 months. I supposed to go.
6 months?
Yeah.
He appears to have overstayed. He certainly has no legitimate basis from what we can see of being here. We will take him to an immigration holding centre and deal with him from there.
7 years ago, this man came to Britain to play volleyball on a 6-month sports visa. The life he has made for himself in this country will soon be over. He has agreed to a voluntary departure date back to Nigeria.
Watch your head as you got in there, yeah?
The team made a total of 7 arrests during the street operation at Stratford. 6 men were given temporary release, but all have failed to show up at a reporting centre. They are listed as absconders on the police national computer. At Terminal 3, a flight from Chicago has arrived. A passenger who claims to be a doctor has been stopped by immigration officer Bridget Hall. The man was born in Africa and has been living in the US for the last 10 years.
He lives in the States, he's got a green card, so he's a permanent resident there. He wants to transit through the UK to get his flight at Gatwick, which should be leaving in about 5 hours or so, back to Sierra Leone.
Nationals from Sierra Leone must have a visit or transit visa to pass through Heathrow. The passenger has applied for both and been refused. All of this requires further investigation.
So he's turned up today with no visa, 2 refusals behind him, and a flight that's leaving this afternoon, and he wants to try and get on that.
Officer Hall needs to be sure the passenger won't stay on in Britain if she grants him access to catch his connecting flight.
I've seen the ticket, so I do know he's got an onward flight, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to go on it. Quite often they'll get an onward flight, and it's a small outlay for them gaining entry into the UK.
So before she issues a visa, she must be satisfied his story rings true.
It's a bit strange that somebody would want to give up a good life in America, so we've got to check his bags. Now, as he is returning permanently, he's got about 6 pieces of luggage, so myself and a colleague are going to go down, search through his bags quickly and make sure there's nothing that we should be concerned about. Thank you.
And straight away, the search throws up some surprises.
It's a gift. Oh, okay. Just thought I'd check. Directly as you come across on that one over there. Cheers, mate. What's this for, sir? The potassium tablets?
This is an antihypertensive.
What's Ezidrex? What's indomethacin for? The metformin? Lovastatin?
Lovastatin is anti-cholesterol.
So have you got high blood pressure as well?
Yes, high blood pressure.
It's a good job you're a doctor then, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
One of the reasons you will refuse your visa is you are unable to prove that you have this job, that you are a working doctor. So I need to see some evidence to show me that.
No, not as of now. I was before 1997.
When you go back to Freetown, you're not a registered doctor. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, when I arrive, I'm going to register and do everything.
But you're not yet. But you're not yet.
Yes.
So why have you got this prescription pad?
This one? This prescription pad is one that I had.
And now there's more to arouse the officer's suspicion.
Whose passport is this, sir?
Well, I cannot see. Maybe my father or maybe my brother. I don't know.
Okay, who's this woman? Khadisha Hariri.
Oh, that's my sister.
Who's Jonathan Fawaz?
Fawaz.
Who's that?
That's my cousin brother.
Your cousin's brother?
Yes.
A lot of stuff isn't adding up. He's going back to Sierra Leone to live, but yet he's not got anything of his own there. I've searched all your bags, I've done it myself, all of your bags, and you have no clothes belonging to you. It's now making more sense why he was possibly refused his visa on both occasions. I now have to look at things in a different light. I'm not sure whether he's going to be getting on his flight.
Because of the unusual contents found in the man's bags, Officer Hall has a lot of questions to put to him.
Did you apply for a visa to transit through the UK?
Yes, but I applied for the wrong transit visa. It's a visit in transit visa, which they denied.
If you were denied your visa, why did you still decide to travel here?
I consulted the British Embassy consulate in New York. They said that as long as I have a permanent resident card, connecting flight within 24 hours, I don't need.
Ideally not a problem, but the fact that you had these refusals kind of changes everything.
Okay.
You had Sierra Leone passports belonging to other people. Why is this?
Well, these are my brothers and sisters. They have not been to that country, for some of them, for over 30 years. So they gave me their passports to go renew their passports.
Do you have any evidence that you are still a registered doctor? Because the paperwork that I saw in your baggage search was all very old.
I am not a registered doctor in Sierra Leone because I have just gone there after 10 years of absence due to the civil war.
That's the end of our interview. If you just want to sign here for me.
After the interview, Officer Hall passes on her concerns to Chief Officer Dyson.
He's got a prescription pad, he's got untold medication for various ailments. He's got a card.
Isn't he supposed to be a doctor?
He said he's a doctor, but he's not registered anymore. He's a nursing aide, like an auxiliary nurse.
Hence he couldn't show the visa officer that he was a doctor.
Exactly.
But he told the visa officer.
And that's what he led me to believe when I first spoke to him, that, yeah, I'm a doctor, I'm registered.
I don't think you really need to come back to me with this one. I think
this is a refusal then,
I think we're agreed on this. He may well be going on to Sierra Leone, but I'm not taking that chance.
Yeah, okay.
There's too many variables in this, so if you're comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Back to the States, ASAP.
Yep, we'll do.
The passenger arrived at Heathrow without a UK transit visa. His luggage aroused suspicion and he lied about his job. Officer Hall can't trust him to catch his flight on to Sierra Leone.
There is nothing new in front of me today that would let me consider reviewing the decision to deny you a visa to come to the UK in order to transit. You should be refused entry, in which case we'll have to put you on a plane back to Chicago.
What's going to happen now? Where are we?
I'm going to go back to the holding room now, and then you'll be escorted down to the flight.
If the man wishes to travel to Sierra Leone, he will have to get the correct documents or take a route that doesn't pass through Britain. At Heathrow, Immigration Officer Hall has another case. She has stopped a 19-year-old Canadian who's also an online gaming fan.
He's coming here for 4 months to visit his girlfriend, who's a British national. By his own admission, he's got very limited funds, £900, 4 months. He doesn't have a credit card to back it up. Mr. Sacconi? Hello. My name's Bridget. I'm going to be dealing with your case today. £900, 4 months. OK, even if you're staying at a friend's house, we all live in the UK, we know how expensive it can be. Anything could happen. He could need emergency treatment, who knows? You know, that £900 isn't going to go very far. Catherine?
Thank you.
Is anyone meeting you today, sir?
Yes, my girlfriend should be here.
If you just look here for me. Now, your girlfriend's name Kira May. Is that Kira May is her first name or May is her surname? Like her family name? Okay. Right, we'll just go through to the interview room. Some of the questions may be quite probing. I don't want to upset you at all, but I have to get a really clear answer. So, how do you know your girlfriend?
I met her online playing a computer game.
When was this?
I originally met her about a year ago.
And we're talking online, we're not talking face-to-face at that point. Okay. Have you ever met your girlfriend in person? No.
First time today, hopefully.
Officer Hall is concerned that if things go well for the Canadian and his girlfriend, he may be tempted to stay on in the UK. Perhaps a call to his girlfriend will set things straight.
Hello, can I speak to Kira May, please? You are expecting him today, are you? OK. Can I just ask, how do you know him? How long ago? So you'd say that you've known Glenn for a total of 4 or 5 weeks, yeah? No longer than that? Because he actually told me he'd met you a year ago. Well, obviously, we're not sure whether we're going to allow him into the UK at this moment in time. I'm going to have to go back to him and just, obviously put that discrepancy to him. Is there, are you going to be contactable on this number again? Because I think he may want to speak to you. Okay. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you. Bye-bye. It's a man. It's a man. Yeah, that was a man. I said, can I speak to Kira? Yeah, that's me. Now, unless she's got a really sore throat, that's a man.
As Officer Hall now knows the passenger's internet girlfriend is male and the two have never met, she must tread carefully if the news is not to come as a shock.
Have you spoken to your sponsor on the phone at all?
It's always been online.
This is going to sound like a mad question. Bear with me, OK? What sex is your sponsor?
Yeah.
OK. Well, you said girlfriend.
She's a girlfriend. She's...
Oh, God, so you could have saved me lots of time, sir.
Yeah.
We don't have a problem with people having boyfriends at all.
No, it's, well...
So I was concerned then. I thought you didn't know.
No, I know.
Okay.
Complicated.
Right. Now, we have a little problem.
Okay.
Your sponsor told me you had only met 4 or 5 weeks ago.
As a relationship, yeah.
Well, online. He said online.
Really?
That they met, yeah. So you're saying as a relationship, yes, but...
I swear I've known him longer than that, through the game.
Officer Hall is still concerned about the man's limited funds, but the passenger claims he'll get help from his girlfriend's mother.
I have to be sure, again, that he's going to leave when he says he will, and without speaking to the sponsor's mum and knowing that she's happy for him to be here, she's happy to support them financially. You know, it's all second-hand information. Oh, hello. Hi. How do you know Glenn, please? The amount of money he has available to him, which is rather limited given the time he wants to stay. I'm just wondering, I mean, if it came to it, would you be in a position where you would be able to support him financially? Right. Can I just...
The mother's willingness to help the passenger financially could be enough to convince Officer Hall to grant entry. But first, she must run it by her boss.
Shortly. OK, bye. I need to speak to you, Matt.
Yeah.
That was the mum.
Sponsor's mum.
Sponsor's mum. She's known about this all along. She's more than happy to support him whilst he's here. I want to land him.
You do?
I do. Initially, no. You know what? I thought it was a refusal, but I've spoken to everybody involved now. I cannot, in good faith, refuse this man when I think that I tend to agree with him and I think he will go home.
Fair enough.
OK.
Landing then.
Brilliant, thank you. So now I have the happy task of letting my passenger out on his holiday. I'm going to allow you in for your holiday. Perfect. The only proviso is I have landed you, so I've put a stamp in your passport until the date of your return ticket.
Perfect.
So you have to leave on or before this date.
Okay.